What's up, everybody, and welcome to the latest challenge of Doom. Joining me tonight is the Mellow_Magikarp, also known as Kevin Clemente. Kevin, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey, what up, y'all? I'm Kevin, host of the Lake of Rage podcast, and actually haven't casted for Doom in a while. It was the first regional of Doom we were here, so I'm excited to be back.
And then also joining us tonight is Alex Coach. I was going to say, that's right, Alex, right? I got this right for once?
Nope.
Damn it! What is it?
No.
Yeah, that was not good.
You flubbed it again.
Oh my god.
Okay, it's cook. Like you're cooking something.
I sat here all week after I asked you. I'm like, it's cook. And I come in, I'm like, hey, it's Coach. I'm like, oh my god. Someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
I mean, it looks super weird, right? It doesn't look like it sounds. It's a trade name though. Like it's Baker and Smith in like the US. In Germany, KOCHEN is the verb for to cook or to like bake. So that's why like some people pronounce it cook. And hopefully that'll help.
All right. So
That did not help, no.
No, not
so
at all.
I'm getting ready to start the tournament. I think we're gonna up the cap one more round because we're at 57 people. I was gonna say 100 here. There's no late check-ins, so we're gonna start the tournament now. So we are going to have an extra round added, so everyone knows, and we just need to start finding a game. Who is up first? Who do we have?
We have no one.
We need to find somebody. Is anyone in chat? Oh, chat's like 30 seconds behind. What's Savid running? Savid's running Zoroark versus a Thunderous Bidoof deck.
I'm sorry, what'd you say to me?
Thunderous Bidoof.
Thunderous
One more.
Bidoof.
Okay, hold on. I need to pull this tournament up.
Yeah, I'm going to find Savid. Savid's a good player, usually good. The first stream, good start. So we'll see if we can get him on, or if anybody else. I forgot to also announce that round one was on. I'm all over the place. I mean, Tuesdays is weird.
It's definitely the hardest part, and why I've never gotten into running a tournament is like the casting part and getting people to actually go in. And like, it feels like after a couple of rounds, you'll get people. It's those first few of like, okay, you have to be here right away and be willing to do it. And it feels like you're so vulnerable if you're willing to do those first couple of rounds. You're like, oh, what if I'm not in the game today, right? So
Right.
I fully get it. But anyone else should be getting in here and letting us commentate over one of your games.
Another person who could be able to is Cash, who's actually in. He's playing against an Armor Rouge deck, which looks like he's in. So we'll go ahead and jump there. Because Cash is the man. Cash is the man. He's playing Tina, but I mean, we can forget
We
that.
love Cash. Let's go.
Man, I'm still sitting here trying to do the math on this Thunderous thing.
I'm actually a big fan of Tina.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, not the Tina, the Thunderous deck. I'm like, oh wow, this seems interesting.
I feel like you're just trying to like poop on Lugia and you're trying to like up trade into like everything else. But man, this is wild. I hope it goes like 7-0
So let me
with any luck.
just making sure.
So I'm looking at Cash has a Raikou and has net decked. It looks like a 55th place EUIC list. I could be wrong on that one. A fellow Singaporean. So that would make sense why Cash has gone with this list.
Wow. You know the exact place it already got?
It took 3 seconds on Limitless.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
He is efficient.
Touch some grass.
Because I know how to scroll through Limitless slightly.
Spring Break changes the man, doesn't it?
100%.
I'm just amazed you don't have this skill. You are a fellow podcast host.
I haven't clicked on anything yet, my guy. I'm eating chips. I just cracked my first cider of the night. I'm ready to go.
Oh, no, my Google Chrome profile for Pokemon has Limitless and Play Limitless constant. Those tabs never get closed.
That's awesome.
So
That's how you do
I
it.
don't know. I mean, I play RuneScape while we podcast, okay? So, like, I don't know how much effort I'm
I
putting
can
into
tell.
it.
I can tell. It's fine.
Good, good. That's the vibe I'm trying to get. The vibe I'm trying to get is distracted co-host, and then when they're like, Alex, what do you think of this? Like, say something really profound, and then they move on.
I mean, that works. I mean, that's all.
I mean, it does.
That's essentially all I do.
This deck that Cash is up against is wild. It's Armarouge EX Charizard EX Aegislash.
Which I am checking. They have not checked in. They have another minute or two to check in.
Bro, the Doom tourneys always bring out the just decks that no one is expecting.
I know it's the greatest. That's why I love this tournament. It's the reason why I get up on Fridays and now Tuesdays, I guess.
So the Armarouge EX is actually an interesting card. I don't know if we're actually going to get to see it. They only have a minute left, like you said, but
yeah,
it takes 80 less damage from attacks at full health. So it effectively has, 340 HP on a stage 1 at first. That's pretty good. The attack is 40 plus 40 for each fire energy attached to it. So you're not OHKOing anything, but you are a gigantic tank, which is super cool.
Yeah, I'm looking through to see if we have anybody else who might be able to. Like, again, this is always the hardest thing, is the first round. And like usually second round's easier to start hitting up people.
Maybe he submitted the wrong deck list. There's Nimona and Nimona's backpack in here. And no ace spec.
Okay, to be fair, the first deck I built this format had no ace spec.
My guy.
It took 3 games to realize.
You're like, man, I really wish I could use something right now.
No, I was like, I haven't seen my prime catcher. And then, you reevaluate the deck after a few games and you realize. That's why I'm not seeing it.
I'm still at the point I haven't bought prime catcher yet. I'm just like, I'm holding. Opie.
Tabletop Village is out, and that might be because of me. So good luck finding a prime catcher.
There's plenty of places I can find it. It's just I haven't pulled the trigger yet. So.
And I feel so upset. Almost everybody in the chat is like singing your guys' praises, and I'm just here, man.
Alex, you should try having a big podcast. Then you'll get there.
I got the best feedback I got in Vancouver was someone come up to me and was like, "Hey, man, could you stop phoning it in?"
Oh.
I was like, okay.
Wait, was that me?
It might have been. Shoot, I don't remember.
Their opponent no-showed.
Rip.
Dang it! I wanted to see Nimona's backpack in action.
Right? I'm looking to see, but like we're at the point now where like if anyone who's in chat, I mean, we still watch Cash play. I mean, he looks like he's playing a game anyways.
Okay. While we're here, Nimona's backpack is actually, Alex, you're listening, right? This is content for your next podcast, right?
I'm going out. I'm already out of this.
No, I'm giving you for the next podcast. This is one of your points to bring up. Nimona's backpack creates a positive resource, right? Because you're always going to get +1 from the discard pile.
That's correct.
And it's using a even bad draw supporter. This card is so powerful, potentially, for that reason, right?
Isn't it good in Tinkaton?
That's okay. That'd be a good example, right?
Yeah.
It's like Nimona's backpack is strategically a potentially good card.
All jokes aside, I understand and appreciate your point. And all jokes aside, I did see a list the other day, and I can't remember if it was Tinkaton or something else, that played like 4 Nimona's backpack and like 4 Nimona for that exact reason, like just to get a hand size.
Yeah, see, it is. And like, there's any deck, right? Not any deck, but there's plenty of decks that want just that continual bringing of resources. It's like the Snorlax leftovers is probably always going to be the better one.
Oh, yeah.
But
as a quick aside, one of my favorite card games to play on like long Pokemon road trips is like, I'm thinking of a card, 20 questions. And there was one person that always asked, does it plus your hand size at all? Like, does it go more than 1 for 1? And I always thought that was a really smart question, because if you say yes, it narrows it down quite a bit, because if you really think about it, there's not many things that plus your hand size outside of a supporter.
Correct.
So, no, it's actually a really good point you bring up, and a very, very good segue to go on, because it's like, yeah, it's one of those things to unironically, like stashed in the background.
No, and anything that is an item card that pluses your hand is something that's always like super interesting, right? I'm not the like genius. Like, Sanders sees that card and sees something different than I see, for example.
Sure.
But like you said, it's incredibly rare. And hand advantage in Pokemon is massively like underrated because you just draw so many cards.
Yeah.
But it is so good.
Like, it's one of those things that if I asked you, tell me a item card that gives you plus cards to your hand that is not energy or Pokemon. Like, there's not many.
It's even hard, even minus or even neutral, I guess, for non-energy than Pokemon is pretty rare, right?
Oh yeah.
Like VS Seeker is one of the most broken cards of all time. And that's a neutral card, right? But gosh, what do you think above Lusamine, right? Lusamine as a supporter. Like, as a supporter, it takes your thing for a turn, and yet the fact that it +1 in hand made it bannable, essentially, because it was infinite. Yeah. And of course, it could also get back Lusamines, which made it infinite. But let's ignore that right now.
One of the best things I ever saw, one of the best, like, not even hot takes, but one of the best takes in general I ever saw was that Lusamine would have been one of the most perfect balanced cards if it couldn't get itself back.
Did you ever get to play the Gigas Hoopa Mirror with Unknown Hand?
I don't know if I've ever played the Mirror, but I definitely played against that deck. Adventure Bag's one of them. Lord Beef got it right. Adventure Bag's one of them.
Oh, that's a good one. No, but
it
doesn't matter if you don't play the Mirror. The Mirror is a whole different beast. But that's all the Mirror goes down into is Stevens into Lusamine for 2, just to get to Unknown Hand first.
Unknown Hand. That's awesome.
It's actually incredibly fun. It's like incredibly fun to do once. And then not again for a while.
You learn the formula. Never mind.
Well, yeah, because then you have to play around Giraffe Rig still, right? So it's like there is stuff to do. And depending if you're playing against Oddish or you're playing against the big basic version, and there's fun stuff in the mirror match. It's pretty cool.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm writing a
like some
yeah, well, like nice segue. I'm actually writing a article for Poke Beach right now, based off old formats, and I'll definitely be saying some stuff about Sunblot. So,
how bad it is?
Nope. I mean, I understand the critics, but I still love it.
Yeah, chat room. The reason that we're not paying a ton of attention to the game is because it's a ladder match because their opponent no-showed, as Doom mentioned approximately 45 seconds ago because of the delay in the chat. That's why we're also talking about other stuff as we watch Cash decimate this Aegislash deck that I see. I don't know how you possibly win. I mean, any game really, but definitely this specific matchup.
You know what's cool is that he was going to play against a deck with Aegislash in it anyway.
That's what's crazy. I think the ladder opponent actually has a potentially stronger deck, at least a more linear, like streamlined deck.
Yeah, we still ended up with a spicy deck on the other side. So, I mean, win-win.
Hello?
Did Doom just cut out? Or okay, that wasn't just me.
Okay.
No, that was me. I came in real quick saying we ended up with a spicy deck on the other side anyway. So, win-win.
There you go.
Okay, you actually made my words think alone. I was like, what?
I was really scared because like my headphones are at like 50%, and I was like, "There's no way they died that fast."
I'll just randomly show up.
That'd be a bad one.
My own stream randomly showing up, so. But
yeah, this is
everything goes quiet.
Go for it, Alex.
Yeah.
I'm also watching the game, and it's like this is just. Aegislash does not have a way to deal with Shred.
I was gonna say something insanely not related, so per usual. So
that's just the signature of this tournament. So,
hey man, I'm working on my article right now, and I'm doing some research into the quote unquote 2021 worlds, like the one that we never had.
Yeah. Have you done the 2021 also, or is that just too much AVP for you?
I've not done the 2021 yet. So basically, the article is going to be like a big overview of like the top 40 popular old formats, why you should play each one, the optimal gauntlet for each one, and then a checklist for that gauntlet, so that you're like, okay, if I wanted to play this as someone that's never played a gauntlet before, what cards should I proxy? Because every time I go back and look at an old format, I create this giant checklist, and then I either buy or print all those cards. And I'm like, if I'm doing that work for me, I could just go ahead and do that work for everybody. And then also be like, here's all these cool old formats. Please play old formats because I think it's a very good way to get better at Pokemon. And so that's like the whole article. And so I'm going back through all the things, and I haven't done 2020 yet, but I do have my decks for 2020.
So I want to point out for 2020, just because if you look at the results, like the names of the people who did well, it's wild, because they gave day 2 invites with a cash prize when cash prizes were still new to everyone who had a day 2 invite. It's like, here, if you haven't listened to this, and I think this is the best reason why it's one that you should have in there, because we actually have what seems to be a proper like effort, right? Bradner beat Sander in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good, right? Will Jenkins was in top 8, Pablo Mesa, Brandon Salazar, Haruto was
stacked.
It's wildly big.
And you're talking about
going further down, Hog tournament, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Rahul's there, Andrej is there, right before he won Worlds, Bakari, Joao, Caleb Rogerson's in there, Stefan's on there, Andrew Hendricks on there, like
Oh yeah, go for it.
I just think there's a lot of data that's largely ignored from what should be considered potential retro formats because they were Worlds formats.
Correct. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to include 2020 and 2021 Worlds, because like in the pantheon of history, right, there's a lot of like really important and cool decks that kind of get lost if they don't go in those formats. And I think that if we had that same sort of like play limitless groupthink on those, that there would have been something very spicy. Like those formats are ripe for breaking. And even with Worlds, yeah, go for it.
Oh, like looking at, so you said you're researching the 2021 one, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
So are you paying attention to, there's 2 pods in day 1 and then day 2? Are you looking at the meta and the results between the two? Because what happened was Dark Mewtwo was like far and away the most played and most successful deck. Not far and away the most played, but it was up there in play and by far the most successful in day 1. And then day 2, we saw Leafeon do incredibly well because
Are you talking 2021 or 2022?
2021, sorry. 2022 was a Real Worlds.
Yeah. So wait, Mewtwo was not in 2021 though.
Yeah, it was.
Mewtwo v Union?
Hog, yeah. No, Mewtwo and Mew tag team.
In 2021 is Sword and Shield through EVS. 2020 is Team Up Darkness Ablaze.
No. Wait. 2020 was, I'm going back to this. 2020 was Ultra Prism to Darkness Ablaze.
I have it as Team Up through Darkness Ablaze. I might want to double check. I haven't started the 2020 research yet. I just have like the initial decks. So
no, 2021 was, I was 100% because I played Mewtwo and Mew in that tournament to a last place finish in day 2. But yeah, Mewtwo and Mew, Luke Metal, or but like the day 1 to day 2 was incredibly like interesting how the meta evolved just in that one situation.
I had someone comment or message me or something that said that for the 2020 Worlds, Pokemon had confirmed that there would have been a rotation and it would have been Team Up through Darkness Ablaze.
Did they?
Someone commented saying Pokemon confirmed that, and so it wasn't quite the same as Pog, but it was very similar because all of the decks had already kind of shifted over to like late Sun and Moon, early Sword and Shield.
See,
except for the Mewtwo deck.
I'd be curious if where Pokemon said that, because the whole point of Pog was to mimic Worlds, like giving a day 2 invite to top 16 and top 22. And so I don't see why they would have ran it in an incorrect format then, if it was confirmed.
This is good information. Let's see. I think I got messaged it. I think Liam Liam from down in Portland messaged me about it. I generally trust him. Let me see. I think it was in that Retro Card Gamers chat, wasn't it?
I don't
Or
think
is
so.
it that?
Not Liam Williams?
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. I would trust
No,
him.
he
too,
doesn't
but
really
also
know.
he doesn't.
I forget who commented on it. I posted it a lot of different places. Regardless, I haven't gotten to 2020 yet, so
Okay.
I think I got to do a little more research. I'm working on 2020 to rewind all the way back. I'm working on 2021 right now, and I'm trying to find a good Sylveon list. So, in case you're curious, what I'm doing in the background.
2021 was the interesting one, where the day 1 to day 2 meta was entirely different, and it actually ended up being incredibly cool, right? Just because like Leafeon came out of nowhere and was a deck that no one had, like, this thing's terrible, and it's like, well, it beats Mewtwo, so it must be good, right? And then Decidueye showing up 2 of them in top 8 and 21, and that was the counter to the counter, essentially, because like it got destroyed by a deck like all the other like shenanigans decks, right? But it beats the Leafeon and it beat the Ice Rider handily.
And see, I'm looking at not only from like Pog lists, but I'm also looking at limitless lists from that same format to like really get a like.
How did it evolve?
Yeah, and try to get the best lists, and that's something that's a benefit of limitless these days, is that I have so much data to find like a really good list for, whereas like my 05 and my 07, I'm just like taking like the top 32 lists and then moving on.
Was Pog the last tournament before rotation, or did they keep the same format the whole time?
They kept the same format.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, Zach.
Yeah, I played a lot of Sylveon, so I grabbed one of my lists. There you go.
All right, fine. Let me see what's in the grass. There's grass introduced. Is this the same? Is this the same format?
Yeah, because you're using Leafeon V in that format. 2021.
The one that I found was the Galarian Moltres Energy Switch version.
That sounds like one of your lists.
It's like all of the if you go to EVS standard Sylveon list, all like the top 5 are all Moltres Energy Switch. Although this one is Spiral Energy. That's wild. Darkness. Oh no, this one's grass. I found one. Never mind, I found one that's grass. And then this one's also dark. So there's a little bit of a mix. But anyway.
Anyway.
I will say this, having a smaller tournament, we've had no judge calls tonight, and I'm so happy.
Feels good.
Oh, now you jinxed it.
I know. Wait. Yeah, someone my stall lax is doing things.
That's true. Wait, let's look at the meta while we're...
Actually, I can just flip.
There you go.
Let's flip over to that. This game looks like it's done anyways.
Oh yeah, this matchup's terrible.
Yeah, Cash has just been destroying them slowly. But yeah, metagame wise, what I see one deck, and Kevin, Mello, you talked about this deck recently as well. We've also talked about it a little bit.
We've talked about a lot of decks.
Well, Roaring Moon Dun Sparks.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's actually as low as it is. So it's at 4 out of the 50 something people for 7.84%. It's sitting there below other, which is definitely one of those Senior Doom tournament things that exists. But if we take that out, it's sitting at 5th place, which I think heading into Orlando this weekend, that is way too low for it. I think this deck is incredibly good. I think it is incredibly easy to pick up after a handful of games. And I've been playing it a lot. It is incredibly powerful. It is so good. And I think there's still room for innovation. I think the lists that we saw out of UIC were just like a little bit lacking. Like there's other stuff where it's like trekking shoes are cool, but those could be good cards instead, right? Or like one played Penny and the other played Thornton. So I really like Roaring Moon to Dunsparce, and I'm super shocked it's not more played here. Because like I said, Orlando, I think it's going to be heavily played. And rightfully so. I think this deck is going to be tier 1 in terms of play for the rest of the format.
It's currently 4-0 in the tournament.
So, yeah, because it's so good. It's just like you have the single prizer that hits so hard early, right? 70 plus, like you can have 0 in the discard and KO every evolving Pokemon. You can KO Comfies and Charmanders and Ralts and whatever, right? With 0 in the discard. And then late game, you're able to KO Iron Hands potentially, right? Depending on the specifics of the list and things like that. But you're able to KO a 2 prize basic, which is good. And then you have the instant KO button with the Roaring Moon EX, which you can pull off out of nowhere, right? You can have 0 things on the discard. Like you have 0 energies, 0 Roaring Moons. You just go Nest Ball, Sada, Dark Patch, Attach, Cross Switcher. And suddenly, out of nowhere, you've taken a 2 prize turn with like 0 effort.
Have you played any of this deck yet, Alex?
Oh, tons. It's actually the deck I played the most in this format.
Super fun.
Yeah, don't we?
Oh, yeah,
don't we watch it a whole bunch on the regional, me and you, or we tried to watch it?
Yeah, I was in and out on that. I was experimenting a lot with Ancient Box in general. And I remember sitting down and thinking, like, gosh, if there was only a way that I could play this deck without using Koraidon or Fluttermane, because like those cards just seem so dead. And and so I built a list. I just took all that out and put in a Brute Bonnet and a Radiant Sneasler instead, because I was like, I'm just gonna switch all the dark energies. I'm gonna put this poison thing in there, and it like solved some of my numbers math, but it wasn't the consistency. So I really liked that someone like gave me the answer of like, dum like. You got the dark energy part right, but it was actually just Dunsparce was the real answer, silly goose. And so like that's why I like fell in love with it. I was like, oh yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. This is awesome.
It's also so wild, the Dunsparce having free retreat, and we said this on the podcast with Helios Network, but it's game changing because now you don't have to prep anything. Like if you're not going to get going to Roxanne turns against Tina, you're fine. You don't have to pre-bench anything, right? You're just kind of good to go because you can pivot into it. For example, it's so good.
It's awesome. I really enjoy it.
It's a fun deck.
My only
it's my second most played deck right now after Charizard, but Charizard's been solid for me, so I'm not going to toss that away yet.
No, Charizard is still the BDIF. Like I think we're going to have to hate Charizard out of the format harder than we are currently not doing for it to go away.
Exactly. Which surprisingly is not the number 1 meta choice for this tournament. It goes to Future Hands.
I hate this deck.
Oh, so do I.
I don't know. I get it and I want to like it because in my brain I'm like, all right, this is just like Green Zard all over again, right? You have your Miraidon, which acts as your Volcanion. You play Arven, so you're just tutoring out individual pieces, which includes the Muscle Band / Floatstone tool, which is arguably the greatest tool ever printed. Like, and Alex can yell at me and say Life Dew, but that's an A spec no one cares about.
No, I don't think it's Life Dew.
You don't think it's Life Dew?
No. Oh gosh. Now I'm curious. What would my tier list have?
I mean, come on. Floatstone and Muscle Band in one singular tool. If you ignore the restriction to future Pokemon, that is disgusting.
100%.
If you ignore the
That's what I'm ignoring that.
Well, here's the thing. If like let me pose this idea for you. Based off percentage scaling. What if there was a tool card that said you got 60 extra health and 60 extra damage, but you gave up 1 extra prize? Would you play it?
I think that would depend on the format specific, right? But that is definitely really good.
This one right now.
Oh, because that's the math for expert belt, right?
It is the math for expert belt, yeah.
Going up, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, because currently the plus 100 HP for 1 extra prize is almost entirely unplayable, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, is the 60 extra damage worth it for the 40 less HP?
And that would be my only counter argument.
Yeah, I think that's valid. And I think expert belt is, as I've played enough of that format to fully be aware that a single expert belt early game can just swing it so far in one deck's favor. Expert belt can also just
coming from a person who has a affinity for Gyarados, one of the best users of expert belt in that format.
Yeah, I love Garrett. That deck is so fun. I almost own the whole thing already. Like
Good.
I ordered 50 something of the cards and then I just stopped and I have to get the rest of them.
Do it.
I should do that over spring break actually. Well, I did it for JP's tournament and then I remembered I was out of town that weekend and then I lost all motivation to finish the stupid deck.
Oh man.
Right? I was so excited to play it.
That's all right. Well, he'll hold another one.
He will in another 2 years.
Yeah.
That tends to be how this how the cycle goes around.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some motivation over the summer. I'm not doing a whole lot of the summer, so.
Hey, you got summer off too?
I'm working my other job, my chess job over the summer.
Oh, that's right.
But that's about it. So I'll have extra time.
So future hands, I think, okay, ignoring the tool thing, right? This deck is incredibly good. This is, and I said this on the podcast too, but I'm going to keep saying it probably until the end of time. This deck and Roaring Moon scream North America.
Yes.
Like, I was talking to Brent Tonneson both before Vancouver and then at Vancouver, and he said North American regionals are by far the hardest tournaments. It has nothing to do with player skill. He says it's purely because, and well, it's not that he's like throwing shade at the players, but he's like, everyone here plays an aggressive deck. And so you have to every single round play and draw well to stand a chance, because otherwise they're just going to run you over no matter who they are. And I think that is just so incredibly true. Like anyone you sit across from can play Miraidon or Roaring Moon, or in this case now Future Hands, and just like pop off, and you're like, well, okay, then I didn't draw well enough, and you have to do that almost every single round.
That makes sense.
100%. That's my catchphrase tonight is 100%.
I mean, you can give some opinions here, you know.
Well, yeah, well, I'm more the MC tonight. Like if you had asked me, Future Hands just loses too much to Charizard Pidgeot to be actually really effective. Like I've been down 4 prizes to Future Hands, and I get it's just like a single Charizard setup, and they never touch me again. And they're just like, oh,
and the versions that are running the grass energies are terrible,
horrible. Which actually, funny tonight, you can even look at the matchups of it. It got Giratina lost on box, Raging Bolt lost on box, which we'll look at that deck here in a second. And in other, it went 1-1. And then Dialga probably ran it over.
Yeah, it's got pretty polarized matchups into some very important decks. Yeah, like I said, I'm just not a fan of it. I love Roaring Moon. I don't love this one.
No.
But decks I do love, Charizard Pidgeot is number 2. And I'm incredibly disappointed. And if any of you are in chat are playing Charizard Pidgeot and you don't play this card, I'm talking to you. Only 1/3 of them are running Cleffa.
I love the Cleffa.
Cleffa is good. No, not the Eek Cleffa. The gasping draw Cleffa.
Yeah, the gasping draw Cleffa. I started seeing it on EUIC. I went on my way and ordered the full art of it, the illustrated rare, before it got bought out. Like there was a huge buyout.
That card went up so much. It's just so wild. I love the Cleffa. It's so incredibly good. And most importantly, not just Tord got first with it, William Acevedo got top 4 with also Cleffa. So very clearly, two of the best players in the game did the best with a Cleffa in their deck. You should put Cleffa in your Charizard deck right now. There's no reason not to. You don't know better than them. I don't know better than them. That's why I'm going to say do what they do.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Tord,
just real quick, cutting in. We have a tie.
Nice, good. No, do that.
We have a tie. I'm just trying to make sure nobody calls judge before we move on to the next round. Someone always comes in and says, "Oh my god, I actually won the game," blah blah blah, and then it's fine. So that's why we haven't started the next round for anybody. Right now.
Yeah, I don't aggressively post on Poke Twitter, but Poke Twitter was all up in arms this week about the whole like goat debate.
Jason.
Yeah. And the thing that really boils my I land on the side of Jason. I'm sorry. I just do. But the thing that really boils my blood is the fact that not a single person has mentioned Ross. And that's the thing that gets to me. Because like if you want to just look at accolades like Tord's got IC wins and like Jason's got Worlds wins, it's like there are 0 players outside of Ross that have been to every single Worlds. And if your argument is, oh, well, Jason played in the past and it was easier, so Tord's better because he plays now where there's 2,000 people, it's like, homie, there's only one guy that has a sustained level of success through all of it. That's Ross.
I actually completely agree.
Yeah.
And I think one of the issues with this is Ross will never say he should be in that conversation.
No, he's the most to himself Pokemon professional of all time. Like,
no, he is. I need to re-release a podcast episode of him now. The podcast has gone up so much more, but like he is incredibly professional, but also he's so good. Like he just knows Pokemon at a level that I don't, for sure, but most people do not.
And it's wild to me that he's able to do it every single year, right?
Okay.
Because Jason did it back then, and Tord did it now. So like, does Tord know old formats? Does Jason know new formats? It's like there's only one guy that knows both insanely well. So.
All right. So Cash drew another other deck, and it's Mismagius Eradicate. I have no idea what this deck is, but
so it's between that and Savid, who's up against Moon as Zoroark.
Is Savid start streaming? Oh, he did.
Oh, they do play Dodrio, actually.
So we can get that, and I'll also ask around for other people while we wait for them to set up.
Yeah, anyone in chat who wants to stream, join the Discord and jump in. We are looking for games, although personally, I think I'd be fine watching Savid's game. I don't know if that's true, though.
Do you want to watch Savid's, Alex, or do you want to watch Cash's?
Yeah, whichever you guys want, you guys are really driving the ship here. So
I guess we're going to do Savid.
All right,
let's do it.
That way, because Cash will always stream. Cash is great. It's playing more meta-ish deck, but I mean, still.
Meta's fine. We love meta. I love meta. You don't love meta.
No. Meta doesn't bring in the people. Who wants to sit here and watch meta all the time?
I think one of the reasons this is one that I want, they're playing its Roaring Moon to Dunsparce, which we just talked about. And also, Savid is playing Dodrio in the Zoroark deck, and Dodrio from 151 is one of my favorite cards that I don't know how to break because it's somehow both incredibly good and incredibly unplayable. I really like it.
I loved the Steelix Dodrio thing that was around for a hot flash there.
Same.
That was super cool. I played the heck out of that deck.
And I don't in theory it stays the same as it was before, right? Like it loses Mew as a bad matchup and it loses a good matchup in Miraidon, but otherwise like it's still good but bad at the same time.
Didn't it lose some sort of consistency card too that like made the deck work?
Did it?
I thought so.
I don't know, maybe.
I saw someone trying it the other day. Like I was combing through like the doldrums of Limitless, and I saw like a handful of people like, I'm gonna still try this, but they were all doing poorly. So I don't know like what gives.
To be fair, remember most people playing off meta decks are usually not piloting the best.
True.
Which is something for everyone watching too. Whenever you see a deck not do well and you're like, I'm pretty sure it's good. If it's not a meta deck, it's probably just fine. And the other people who are playing Espathra, for example, they're just playing Espathra because they want to troll people. Okay,
I've been seeing this a lot. Are you like super big on Espathra? Is that like your big thing this time around?
It's one of my favorite Pokemon.
When
I also think it is a meta deck. I think by the time the format is over, it will be, depending on how you tier your stuff, because some people include S tier and some people don't. And I think it's so stupid. We need to agree as a community. It'll be in that third tier down. I think it's like actually a good playable deck.
Thing is, I actually agree. It can be a very good playable deck. We've watched players in this tournament play it to the finals and play it very well. And that was previous format. Now it's got more tools, or not even so much more tools. Tools, it's a little bit
There's no
stronger.
more path.
Yeah, there's no more path, so it's a little bit stronger in that sense.
Hey, real quick, how many Galarian Zigzagoon in Jolteon VMAX?
I think it's just one. Or
One.
was it two?
Scoop Up Net was in format, so I think it was just the one.
Okay, cool. Moving on. As you were.
Also, yeah, this is an almost very good start. Actually, wait, this start's nuts. Just kidding, because you know what Zoroark V-Star's ability does? Discard your hand, draw 7. That's an Ultra Ball. Yeah, this start is so good. There's a Dunsparce on the other side, so we could see a Roaring Moon pop off here if we see like a Sada drop. That's a good sign for Zoroark. Okay, and now we're seeing the downside of Roaring Moon to Dunsparce, which is the deck is a pile. Oh my gosh. This is disgusting. All right, so we can go grab another Doduo, and then we can just get a whole new fresh hand of 7. The maximum belt does nothing because you AOCO everything on their side of the field. The Gape Jaw Bog is mostly irrelevant. I don't know.
I still think you play it, right?
I was thinking you're going to Ultra Ball it in the maximum belt away. Because I think Savid, what they want to do here is they want to see what else they have before going for that play, right? Which is, they've played more Zoroark than me, so that's probably correct.
I think you still want to just stadium bounce because like your field is set up, right? There's no, you don't need the Artisan. Gape Jaw Bog is only benefits you.
I mean, they don't need the Artisan either, right?
No, but
they're going to put another Moon on the bench. Like, who cares? You're doing 10 less damage now.
Right. So, I mean, the Gape Jaw Bog doesn't hurt or help anybody, but at the very end of the day, it helps you more than it helps them, I guess.
What a sick draw to the double Gengar in discard. Unfortunately, there's no energy. So we can grab another Dodrio, but this Doduo came down this turn. And there's no way to get this thing out of the active and swing with the other Dodrio. Oh, big rip. Oh no.
I mean, you know you're not getting knocked out, right? There's the reaching for 270 on the Baby Moon.
I've definitely come out of nowhere to get a Frenzy Gouging, so
yeah, possible. Yeah, gouging is real, but you got to get out of the active too, right?
That is true. You'd have to Sada to the active and then hard retreat it, and then all of your energy is on a 30 HP remaining Pokemon,
which you can then just clean up with a Dodrio.
And judging from that long pause, it's either hard hand to sequence or those were not 3 good cards on the opponent's side. Let's look up the opponent's name. I should probably have done that.
Stratosphere Moose. Stratios.
Stratosphere? Stratosphere.
Oh. I thought those were different words. Wolf. All right.
Okay, you're not teaching physics.
Nope. I've been biking to work these days, so I'm already kind of tired. I'm not going to lie.
So I understand from a card balance perspective, but why does Dodrio not have free retreat? Oh my gosh, it didn't KO. Dodrio's hitting so hard now.
I almost wouldn't attack into it.
No, that thing is doing 250 damage. So of course we're going to damage pump off of it because you don't need all that, but it lets you can KO it now. Now your only energies with your capsule are just gonzo because you hit it for 70. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. I think I would have just passed.
And this is the board, right? Like you have 2 V-Stars, but they're both on the bench safe, especially with the Prime Catcher down now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is Savid's game. But there's still no double turbo. So there's no guarantee we're going to be able to attack with things that aren't Dodrio anytime soon.
The Gengar attack's actually kind of relevant in this matchup too, because if you Frenzy Gouging, you can return KO with the Gengar.
I'd really like to see this damage pump. Conserve some of this. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, he's not going to go on the active though.
See, okay. One of the downsides is now the Dunsparce can KO your Dodrio, which seems like who cares? But you don't want to give them an easy 1 energy knockout, right? Part of the ways you beat or you lose as Moon is running out of resources. And like it is a resource war. And part of that resource is the number of Sadas and Dark Patches you have, right?
Correct. Plus, you're just styling on him at this point, though. If you get a Dunsparce knockout, that's just cool.
You're not wrong.
Like, There are 60 people watching you right now. Like, come on, just do it.
Yo, the Sada? Okay, we're cooking. We're
Big
playing.
toss. That was a top deck Sada too, right? Because he did
For sure. There's no way. Yeah.
So we know what his draw was.
E-Miser's comment about passing is for cowards is kind of true. You hit into everything and you deal with the consequences later.
Go. Yes. Love to see it.
Hold on, give me a second. I'll be right back. I got a phone call.
Bro, we don't need him.
Yeah. It's just
All right, that was so good. Wait, why did we promote the... Oh, that's why. Okay, never mind. So we knew they were going to top deck the DT. Silly me.
They're using main character energy right now.
They are. They're like, I am a Zoroark at this point. I know exactly what's going to happen.
And if he does, I mean, he still has 2 zooming draws and a hope.
I mean, yeah, it is something, right? But gosh, I would take that sure KO with that Dodrio every single time. But now this hand has everything except a drum supporter in it, but I think you're totally fine, right? Set up another Doduo if there is one available in the deck.
You got you just popping for it and you know you have it.
Yeah, because you don't need damage counters on everything. Like this Zoroark's going to KO that Dunsparce. That Dunsparce is not surviving. Like, you're totally fine playing around the Gape Jaw Bog. And yeah, we should see most of the rest of the hand get held onto, I would assume.
Yeah,
it is open deck list, so we can double check if they're playing any hand disruption. If they're not, you could go grab the Dodrio if you would like to. Yeah, there's no hand disruption, right? This is just the top 4 list, or the top 8 list.
Yeah, this is a fairly simple list. Like, they need to get another Pokemon down here, and they need to hope that... I mean, they don't need Seda for this turn, because you can attach. It's just having that second Pokemon prevents you from just losing the game. Because, I mean, in the game of Pokemon trading cards, if you have no Pokemon on your bench and your active is knocked out, you lose.
You do definitely see, too, some good sequencing there by the opponent, right? Throwing down the Vessel before the trekking shoes. So they are doing a good job, and there's the Sada.
I would say that this is the one and only downside of the Dunsparce version and not the like full Ancient Box version, is that it's so much harder to reach with Baby Moon.
Yes. Yeah, the Baby Moon is taking early knockouts and late knockouts, but the middle rounds, you're 2-shot at best.
Yeah. And like you kind of need at this stage of the game, because like you're so far behind, you need these moons to be one-shotting like now. Or like weaving in some sort of gust. Because right now you're not getting it.
Oh my gosh, the Sharons care too. That's just mean. Why would you do that to them? You're going to have to play Pokemon against you. And you just heal it. I mean, gosh, I don't see a route anymore.
Yeah, no, it's
like you're already behind off of that awkward Prime Catcher.
The thing is, it's not over, because you'd have to go 2-2-1 before, like, see, 3-2-1-1. Yeah, well, if your moons could reach, you actually, there is not over, but
okay, that's your assumption, yeah. Because I'm like, we're gonna have to frenzy gouging this thing, and that's just game because they're
no. So because the other Zoroark didn't evolve, if you're close. Like, he hit 160 last time, so he's at 170 now. You could reach for the one on the bench, and then hopefully one tap the new one, and then you're just a soft breeze away from taking something on the Gengar, for instance.
I think one of the big issues is you're just getting knocked out every single turn, right?
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't scoop at this point, because if no. Yeah, if the moon takes a knockout here on a 2-prizer or even a 1-prizer, I'll see here.
Here's a counter catcher. It's not enough to KO the V, correct?
No, unless you got something else.
Okay, that would have been really good. But now we're down Prime Catcher and Counter Catcher, and we do have Boss's Orders left. But with no Dunsparce down, the Boss's Orders is kind of a pipe dream.
Yeah, but they're going to feed you a 2-prizer, right? You need to reach for this with moon, the baby moon. If you can get the baby moon off here, like you're not out of it. It's a big reach, but you know.
I actually don't think I'd hate the Roseanne's here just to get one Doduo back onto the bench either. Like
This is a scenario where like you actually, you know, I'm rewinding all my comments about the Gape Jaw Bog situation. Gosh, because you wanted to bounce the Artisan because clearly the Roaring Moon player is not drawing. But in this situation, you want your Zoroark as clean as possible because you don't
have to do like any damage.
Right. And so now I'm like, man, this 20 damage, if the baby moon can reach and gets there by 10 damage, I can feel real bad.
All right, let's see. They can, if they can bench and somehow reach for this knockout.
Don't love that. That had to be benched.
I mean, I don't know what else you're doing there. We could have pennied the active. That would have been a play. All right, there's a Dunsparce. More boggin. I would like to see the Explorers before the benching. Right, there's a
No, because you want to have these like 6 cards be like all ancient things.
No, I mean like we benched the moon, right? For no reason, or was it off a Nestball?
No, they benched the moon for no reason. You're right.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the Dunsparce. I was like, no, the Dunsparce is right, but
Oh yeah, the Dunsparce doesn't matter.
it would have been nice to pitch the moon with like an Ultra Ball. That's what I would say.
Actually, yeah, that could have been a very good. There's an extra plus 10. I mean, I think there's actually no way we're gonna hit 260 off of this, right? Like I'd have to look at this list in more detail, but
You would need 10 more, right? Because you were at 160. Yeah, it's rough.
go for the frenzy gouging for fun.
Yeah, you're not even close. This is like I said, this is the only like rough part about the Dunsparce list, and there's DGs right there.
Yeah. It's a shame. Had the prime catcher been kept, no, it wouldn't have even mattered actually, because we didn't have KO on the V and we had the counter catcher regardless. Yeah, I was like you were gonna say, it's rough for the deck sometimes.
Yeah, right. But that's like the only thing. And like I wish there was enough ancient Pokemon that you didn't even have to play the big moon. You could just play the baby moon and a bunch of discarding cards, right?
Right, a bunch of things you couldn't start would also be really nice. Like this version stall matchup is quite good. The other version stall matchup is quite bad.
Both, yes, insanely.
All right, we do see the Zorg V-Star taking down to go up to 2-0 in the Tournament of Doom. You love to see it. I love to see it. I'm rooting for Dodrio right now.
Even though it beat your boy Dun Dun Moon Moon.
There is a 1-0 Annihilate deck as well, as I'm looking through what's going on. That can't be real.
Which list
These
is that?
tournaments are wild.
They're incredibly wild. The Tournament of Doom always gives us something. I don't know what that something is, but it gives it to us. Doom, how would you describe what the tournament gives you?
I would describe it like you go to McDonald's and you order a Big Mac, but instead they give you a 10-piece nugget, and you're like, yeah, that's still pretty good.
I like that.
Ooh, is Day Camp still playing?
He is. He's actually got an issue with the deck list.
Oh, rip.
Their opponent played Erie and it's not in their deck list, so that game is actually.
Oh, okay, never mind. Rip. I love Erie and Charizard. That's such a good play. It's just such a good.
That might go down as one of the worst design cards of all time.
100%. Oh, that was one of the topics I was going to bring up if we had time, and we appear to have time. Alex, Getsus versus Erie. Educate us.
Which was worst designed?
Yes.
Gets it by far.
Why?
Because you could turn one supporter back then. I think that's the easiest answer.
Oh, okay. If we took away the supporter rules or made them equal, it would make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, well, I still think if both were able to play on turn one, Getsus still edges out Eerie.
Why?
Because Getsus rips more cards away more often than Eerie does. If you just look, like if you were to look at if you're 2 weeks from now and you were to look at a Poke Beach article with all these world deck lists on it and look at the percentage of item cards to total cards.
Wow, what a good article that would be. I hope someone
It'd be insane if someone wrote that. But like, if you looked at the percentage of item cards to total cards in both eras, you're going to find more item cards back then. So the odds that Getsus is going to rip more than 2 is higher. Getsus also draws you cards, which is insane. Imagine if Eerie was like draw 2 and rip 2, like you'd be like, yo, that's busted. That's what Getsus did, like at worst.
Okay, here's my counterpoint. Although I don't know if this is a viable enough one, but I do think it exists. The discard versus the shuffle back in, right? Getsus could brick you, and that might be enough that it did it often enough. But Eerie can eliminate entire game plans, right? Like Eerie against POW plus TM Devo can just say, all right, you get to attack twice this whole game. Good luck.
I think I love that as a counterpoint, because you're right. Discard versus shuffle is definitely a difference. But I also think that's a difference of the format that we stand in, like because of like the way that POW plays. Whereas like while Getsus wasn't as prominent in the format where Blastoise was super good to like show comparison, most Blastoise lists elected for a one of War Turtle, right? Just because if you were playing level ball for Skyla, like Skyla for level ball, you generally played one War Turtle for the same reason, because you're like, oh, at worst I'm gonna get a War Turtle. Where Jim Powell is like, yeah, no, we're never going to play the middle evolution, like ever. We don't care about Eerie.
Hey, there was one in top 64.
Well, how about that? I would say that the discard is punishing, but I think the conversation around both cards goes more towards the era of like, are you bricking them or ruining game plans? And Getsus ruined more games than Eerie ever will. So that's
be careful.
Don't get me wrong. I think Eerie's a dumb card, because they realized that Getsus was a problem, and then they were like, hey, but what if we just did Getsus, but not as bad? If it was like shuffle 2 items back into their deck, we wouldn't be complaining about it. So yeah, the discard part is an aspect of it, and I think that does need to be brought up, and I'm glad you did, but I don't think it is. It's not as crazy. The other thing too is like Getsus had Versus Seeker eventually.
Okay, well that is disgusting. Yes, that should not. Eerie would be a one of in like every deck if you had a Seeker. Oh,
100%. So I don't know. I think it's even format aside, like if you were to look at those 2 cards in a vacuum, Getsus, I think, still just kicks the snot out of Eerie in every format. Maybe except even in like 2009 and 2010, when there was like 4 items in every deck, it would still, like, quote unquote items, right? Like not trainers, but items. There were some decks in that era that played 4 non-supporter traders, and so like even in that format, Getsus is still more busted than Eerie.
Okay, that's valid. You've played more of it than I have, so I can't actually say anything outside of Eerie is disgusting, but you led with that point.
I will say I do have some personal pain against Getsus. I was in one of my Sable Garb runs. I was into the top 8, and I got a healthy dose of Getsus played against me because they teched in the one Sableye to reuse Vicious Seeker, so they had to Getsus me every single turn.
For any audience members listening who are not playing in that era, as I did not either, and most people didn't. Alex has been playing for much too long. Yep. Sableye, Junk Hunt, 2 items back into your hand. Getsus, of course, shuffle items back. And one of the best ways to beat Sable Gardener was Sable continually gets us the items back every single time. And the next junk hunt, guess what you could not get? The items.
I would go as far as to say that including personal testing sessions, that I am probably the number one person in the entire world that has had Getsus played against them the most often. I'd probably
definitely a claim.
I would
be true.
I think it is. Whenever I like to think, I'm not going to get too philosophical or religious here, but I like to think there's this nice like warm physical feeling that like when you die, you get to go to like this game over screen where you see all of your stats from your entire life and see where you ranked.
Did you say this on the podcast, or did I hear a different podcast talk about this too?
I definitely haven't seen it. I don't know. But
okay, it was a different podcast.
To be honest, I probably talked about it on a tournament at one point.
Or it could have been Doom on the tournament. That is
to look that up though, see where I rank in terms of like people that have Getsus played against them.
So you go to the game over screen, put together by whatever deity you pray to. Like, all right, what would you like to see? And you're like, how many Getsuses were played against me?
That's my first thing. That's my first thing. Not how many times I truly fell in love or how many times I made someone proud. None of that shit. It's all about how many Getsuses.
I would just love to see the face of like, all right, it's like I've seen some stupid stuff from people who asked for this, but like
they're gonna do that whole like librarian licks their thumb, looks over you over their glasses, like.
And so this is your personal. I'm not gonna stop you.
No, you get 3 lookups, so that's one of yours. It's like the worst genie ever. It's a self-fulfilling genie, not anyone that grants wishes. It just affirms what you already do.
I think the problem though is the pressure of finding out that game over screen. It's like, all right, you get 3, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Number 1, how many pounds of beef I ate?
Oh my gosh! And where you ranked on that?
Yeah, I eat a lot of meat, so I'm not gonna lie. Number 2, the amount of miles I've driven, because I drive a lot right now with a kid, so I want to know how far I've driven. And then
you would rank pretty highly of all non-truckers, of all people where it's not their actual job.
And then number 3, I would like to know. I don't know. After that, I would be like, whatever, just tell me something. Number 3, dealer's choice. Midwest Gaming, Geigo. I think that's how you say it. I'm horrible with it. Thank you for the follow. You know what? Changed beef to how many slices of pizza, I guess. And then number 3, how many times I said which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle was the best.
Which one's the best?
Leonardo.
All right, you heard it here, folks. First, folks, that will do it for the Tournament of Doom. Leonardo. We'll see you guys next week to find out which animal Doom would most like to ride.
I'd like to ride a giant otter.
Oh, well, that ruins next week's.
That's next week.
I don't know who's going to tune in. The tournament's canceled.
Yep. All tournaments finalized. That's it. Done.
Oh, Iona versus N. I think that debate is also.
There's not a debate. There's no way you're going to tell me there's a debate here.
Well, yeah. Well, more so that it is so insignificant.
Okay, that's yeah. Actually, I would agree. Like Ears versus Getsus is so different. I think I would 100% refuse anyone who says N was a better designed card than Iono. But like you said, they're both well-designed cards. Or you're gonna say at least, or maybe not. Maybe tell me I'm wrong.
No, I think they're insanely, and by proxy, Rocket's admin too, right? Yeah. I think in every format any of those cards were in, it was healthy for the game. I think a lot of people just get like feels bad. Oh man, I got Iono to 1 or Ends to 1 and wah. And there are formats where that's definitely more prevalent than other things. And then you also remember Rocket's admin was like in a format where like all your Pokemon stuff was on the board. So like oh cool, I Rocket's admin someone with a Pidgeot out, like eye roll. Same thing. Like I go ahead and Iono Charizard. Like what are they gonna do? They're gonna quick search for something. Like
N versus admin Here, I don't know. You might have even been there. I was playing someone in a retro format, and it was Groudon versus Gardevoir. I want to say
Okay.
I was with Groudon. I was Groudon, right? I was so many prize cards ahead. I was absolutely demolishing them. They have nothing, right? They're gonna either deck out first if they try and stall me, because of course I overcommitted because I'm bad at that format. So if they try and stall me, they deck out, and if they try and take prizes, I win, right? I was like, I got this. They admin themselves to 0. I deck out first.
Oh, yes.
Because for anyone who doesn't know, admin, you get to choose. You can draw up to how many prize cards you have left. So they chose 0. They had more cards left in deck. I was like, oh.
I need to interfere real quick. Are you guys against watching a control deck next round?
No, I'm fine with that.
I mean, we can watch the games anyway.
Well, Alex isn't.
Okay, because Rubik is able to stream and he's playing the Pidgeot control, the one that's more control heavy.
Yeah.
So I think we'll have him because the round is over, so we'll get that going.
Yeah. Jump table 8.
I'm so used to dragging everybody that you jumped, and I ended up moving the tables around.
Oh, my bad.
You're like, I'm independent. I'm like, oh no.
I was like, you're taking too long. Yo, they are 2-0.
Yeah, that's the reason why I saw that. And I'm like, you know what? We'll see.
Okay. They did beat Annihilate as one of those two. And they beat a Charizard, which I think is an actual victory. They might have been a no-show. They did 0-1 drop. Or they salty dropped because they played against Control round 1.
Yeah, we don't.
Both of those are believable.
We don't. I don't drop players until they've missed 2 rounds in a row.
Okay, so there was definitely a salty drop. It's interesting. The Charizard that they beat played Turo and Yelcheer. And of course, there's no way to remove the Yelcheer because it's not an item, right?
Oh, he's on mobile.
On mobile.
Well, you know what? We can
Sorry, what?
We can still run it.
It's your tournament.
Yeah. I'll put some games of Subway Surfers on the side.
Wait, actually, that would slap right now.
Yo, this is wild.
This list is wild enough that I'm willing to deal with mobile just to see it.
They must have a pretty strong phone. Right? Because like my phone, I tried sending a Twitter DM and live crashed.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. And that's a new phone.
If you have like a Galaxy Ultra, like
okay, I do not have one of those.
Those will do fine.
Oh, did it reset his? We just saw his tweets.
Oh, I did not.
I know.
Yeah, he reset. We saw his home screen. He's on an Android. For those wondering.
From this perspective, the way it looks like he's on an Ultra because that how long the screen looks is more so with the Ultras and other ones like that. So, also, I think the green.
You got those Subway Surfer games ready to go?
I could. Yeah.
You still have to restart after adding someone on this game?
Not always, but it's still a good thing to do.
Okay.
That's. I'm going to respond to this person in chat. That's bait. Someone put, I think Lysander's trump card needs a new printing.
Was that He-Miser?
Oh, no.
He-Miser, yeah.
He's a troll.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
That's my brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's 100% bait.
Yeah, he's going to say that just to get something going.
Hey, how many of these things do I gotta cast to get some cool flair on my Twitch thing? Because right now I'm naked. I got nothing.
You need to either donate bits or subscribe.
Well, what's the VIP thing? How do I get the VIP?
Oh, I can just give you that. I'll give
See,
you
what
that.
I mean? Like, see, I'm naked, and I'm casting the tournament, and I'm naked. That's what's going on there.
Well, no one can see you, so it's fine.
Well,
Taxi, we're waiting for the game to start before we cut over. It hasn't started yet.
Oh, they're gonna end it on 30 seconds.
I like how you said his name in the like you had to say it in cadence, and that was funny to me. I don't know. That tickled me. That hit a funny bone.
This is a professional Twitch streamer right here.
Yeah,
dude. I am nothing. I'm good at color commentating. I'm not gonna ask me for my opinion once every so often.
That's what we have
you're,
right now.
you're talking about. No, sorry. You're talking about Doom. I made everything about me.
Oh, there we go. All right, game's up.
Game's up.
We're up against hands. Oh, interesting. Actually, okay. So let's check the hands list real quick. The hands is playing one switching card, which is maybe enough. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out for sure, right?
We'll find out.
Look
All right,
at
so-
this interface.
It is so good.
The problem is, it's like so bad. like, I was gonna try and come up with something positive.
I've tried.
Oh.
I have tried for so long.
No basics. There's not that many basics in there. So there's 202 Charizard line. There's the Mawile, the Rotom. Actually, there's quite a few basics. Never mind. And the more I look at this list, the more basics I see. The Mander start. Definitely got to be over the Chi-Yu, right? Yeah, there's no fire energy to start milling. What's funny too is the Charmander start in non-open decklist tournament is definitely going to catch them off guard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, devastating.
Would you go so far as to say that you'd put a 2-0-0 line into your deck?
2-0-0? No. I mean, I could see a 201 line if you want to be cheeky, and like at a certain point, just swing with the Charizard EX once you've started aggressively attacking whatever resources they have is pretty darn good.
Yeah. No, it's a good card.
No, there's no shot. No. They're trying to be cheeky. There's no way.
No way.
There's only one retreat lock Pokemon in this control list as well, which is the Mawile. So there's no Snorlax. So those float stones, those future booster capsules will be live for pretty much the entire game. That one switch card has to be saved for when that Mawile traps.
Mm-hmm.
Iron something? What's the plus 20 guy? What's it
Iron
called?
Crown.
Iron Crown. There we go. Oh, there's two psychics actually. So Iron Crown. Actually, no, Mawile with Vest, right?
What? Oh. Is it okay? Here's a question: does he have an out to the Mimikyu?
Yeah,
Just the one
right on.
switch card. Wait. Oh, Mimikyu.
Right on.
Sorry, Mimikyu.
And Mew, I guess. Both of them do. Yeah, the Mimikyu beats the current strategy where they're just attaching to this Iron Hands, right? So getting the Mimikyu definitely makes a lot of sense there. As like, I mean, you also didn't have much of a choice, but getting the Mimikyu makes sense because of that reason, right?
I mean,
okay,
the
you're
hands.
just going to sit there and attach. I'm going to make you play the game.
I mean, the hands. Well, the hands player has enough prizes on board, though, right? You just amp the Mander, amp the. Assuming that the Pidgeot doesn't evolve, or even if it does, you could just like hit it and amp. You could just amp it twice. And then you KO and then you bench everything and KO the Rotom. You have enough prices on board right now.
Yeah, but even the onboard, right? There's the one switching card, and I think the win condition in this matchup has to be Mawile with Defiance Vest. Please tell me there's Defiance Vest. Oh no, there's not a Defiance Vest. Okay, I'll come up with a new win condition. Come back to me. Oh, that's an aggressive Charizard bench.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the control player just I think maybe overbenched at the start.
I think so. And maybe it's this matchup about taking prize cards. That could really be it, right?
There's no
They're
way.
gonna.
I mean, if they're not going to put Pokemon down,
Charizard here for.
if they're not going to put Pokemon down, you might as well be like, hey, I'm going to be aggro about it.
And this hand too we got the Candy Pidgeot. Like we're living life. We're good to go.
Oh wow. Okay, never mind. That explains some stuff.
No shot. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's so many options here. I mean, okay, well, you always do that one, right? And then we don't have a way to attack this turn. But that is, I mean, that's why we play the Charizard, right? Is we do want to start. I mean, okay, that's not true. We can Arven for the Seal Stone.
Does he have? Oh, there they are. Okay, never mind.
This Eerie is interesting. So we gain hand knowledge. Alex, how important is hand knowledge as a control deck?
And I mean, it's the most important thing. There was at one point where like people were playing Lavender Town, which is once per turn, look at your opponent's hand. Like just to gain knowledge. Like
I played against that deck. That was fun.
yeah.
My opponent played it, and then I used it on their turn and saw they were bricking. Then I beat them. It was very fun. Yeah. So good. Okay, so now we have the Charizard on this next turn, and their hand was not dead, right? They had research in hand. So the opponent has to make some sort of play happen here, or else the control player is going to run away with this.
I'm surprised they didn't research, because Echoing Horn's not in format anymore. All you have is the Stingray, right?
I don't think they know what they're doing. I mean, who knows what you're doing? Who plays against control with the 202 Charizard line? Okay, that's valid. But like, oh my gosh, like you said, there's no way anything in the discard pile just stays in the discard pile.
Right, outside of the fish. But if you can look at your opponent's list and see that there's no Mantine. Mantine? Right?
Mantine. Yeah.
That's the one with the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to start swinging.
Yeah.
And then what do you do? What are we going to start alchemy for? What am I missing?
I think they're just putting on their preem. Nope, they're doing it.
Yeah, the mist does nothing because it's I don't know. It's like a really aggressive
Double Zard.
Oh, because we still have quick search left.
Yeah.
Do I have enough energies? How many energies does this play? 6? No.
Enough,
6.
baby. Let's go.
4. We play 4 energies. We already have 1 on the field. So I don't think you double Zard at all.
Oh, he only got 1. Or he skipped on the last one, so that means.
I mean, we could. No, hear me out. We hard retreat.
Yo, just wait.
No, that doesn't even work.
No.
I don't know either. Oh, it's a double turbo. No. We're gonna do it. We're gonna hit this. We're gonna kill. We're gonna hard retreat. We're gonna rod. We can't candy Zard again. Oh, darn. I got really hyped there.
Why you can't make candy Zard again?
Blast. We don't have a candy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I wanted to see that combustion blast.
You could have, I think, if you didn't go to the Zard, right? Because you go to the Zard with one of the things.
We'd have the Zard again. Is the thing.
Doesn't it have switching cards? I mean, why didn't you just penny? You have the penny, Andy.
You can't penny the Zard?
No, you could have penny the Charmander.
Why are you penning the Charmander?
To get into the combustion blast. You could have pennied the Mander, go into the Radiant Zard, rare candy the other Charmander, and accelerate to the Charizard, the Radiant.
Oh, that's true. And then you quick search for the.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yeah, that would have worked.
What supporter did you play? Arven, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, and he grabbed what with that? He grabbed the Seal Stone and didn't he already have the candy in hand?
Yeah. We had double candy.
So yeah, you just penny and candy the bench Zard to accelerate to the Radiant, and then
They're not accelerating energy. No way. This is massive. The future player is just not in a good spot, kind of regardless of anything happening on control side. Right? That's not a heavy baton on the active.
Mm-hmm. They're still in line. Ooh, that generator's big.
That would be one of those lines.
Yep. That'd be close to the door.
I mean, there's generators left, right? You just thin the deck for the next generator.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, there are no energies. Maridon would do 60, 70. So it's not enough for a knockout. So we would need another 2 iron guys.
Now I'm hoping there's an amp, sorry, a generator with an amp here to go down to 3 prizes remaining. And then somehow, some way, get a third hands on the Pidgeot.
I was gonna say that's because then Radzard takes the KO to go down to 2. And then we're not very far away from just a boss KO.
Correct.
So yeah, we just quick search out the. Ooh, we don't quick search out the boss. Just kidding. No, we do. We just go KO the leaves, and then you just boss KO the leaves again, right?
Wait, leaves.
Oh, there's only one boss in the control deck.
Is there
iron something?
Valiant Thorns?
Oh, they're gonna try and stall here. That's an aggressive use, but also they play Eerie, and we just saw them pal pad back the Eerie, so I get playing the Prime Catcher in advance. Take this KO.
I do like this line, actually, because you might take 3 on the Zard, right, with the amp. And then you just
I agree.
Them. Yeah, this is actually not bad.
I know the Zard's doing 210, which is still also not enough to actually take out that hands.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I think we go for the boss. How many pal pads do we have left? Because we can boss game before they can win, but just not with the current hand. Right? Because we will need a pal pad plus boss. And we can't quick search for the pal pad. We have the 2 attackers to take 4 prizes. No, we're fine. No. We literally just win the game. We boss this turn. And then can they KO our Charizard with a Maridon? This is why I'm not an official caster. I can't do that math.
Actually, need so much though, right? Like,
because if they attack with Iron Hands next turn, they lose. Because you're down to 2 prizes left as Charizard.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
This is like interesting. Like a normal Charizard deck wouldn't be in this good of a spot at all, but because it's controlled, the opponent just did nothing for too long. Yeah, you just go chase we're hitting for 210. We'll hit Dark Weakness, actually. It doesn't matter.
What's the problem with hitting? You're hitting Radzard here? You don't have the energy check. Energy check.
Yeah, so we take this KO. They have to KO us with a Maridon in return. Oh, and the BM thumbs up. You hate to see it.
How much HP is on this thing?
220 damage, so 110 HP left.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't even lose next turn, right? No, they take 2 prizes. They can win the game on the following turn.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And the counter catcher stays live. We could see this game go in the Iron Hand's favor still.
Yep.
My goodness. How did we get here?
Just the extra prize swing from Iron Hands is just so big sometimes.
Pretty good. I'm going to get us the techno radar, right? So we can do the 60 plus to take this KO. Does that even take a KO?
How much? Hold up. We're not thinking about the second
damage.
Oh, the second attack, am I right?
It takes 3 energies. So no, we're not thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're currently doing 80 damage base, right? So we still need 2 more Iron Crowns to take this knockout.
Yeah.
And one's in the discard pile. So we need Radar for 2 Iron Crowns to take a knockout here. Then you say, all right, you don't have a knockout in return. And then you have to boss plus Iron Hands.
Which you,
Counter
which
catcher.
you can fairly easily do. Because you have knockout on the pitch you out whenever you want it.
I wonder why the Mew didn't hit the field.
Mew. I'm not looking at the list. Mew.
Mew EX.
Okay.
Because Mew draws cards, it KOs Mimikyu. Like, it can't be stalled. It KOs whatever, right?
You got a counter catcher baton off the Arvin.
Okay.
So he didn't grab a Techno Radar.
If we don't KO the active, you lose.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let him cook. But with 5 prize cards remaining, you have to.
Just as a reminder, Doom, when he says let him cook, that's my last name.
Okay. Okay, Alex Coach.
There you go.
There we go. Look, I'm working on it. I will.
My guy, I've lived with it for 30 some odd years. I'm used to it. I really don't care. It's just funny at this point.
Okay, you want to know personally? Everyone's always called me Roy, right? Moved to a big city. Not even 24 hours living in the big city. Someone calls me Wah. French pronunciation. Never heard it in my life until I was 18. I was like, what do you mean?
That's wild.
Yeah. And then it's continued on my whole life ever since. Or they just call me Roy and don't realize I have a first name.
Well, you do have two first names.
Yeah.
You are one of those people, you know?
Yes.
Just Palpad back boss and win, right? Like,
I mean, this game's over because you have to attack twice. And if Charizard attacks twice, they win because they can take one Oko on anything.
that checks out.
So it doesn't even matter if you get boss back, it's just over because you have 2 knockouts on board. So like if I'm the Charizard person, I'm not even thinking right here. I'm just like, oh cool, I'll take a knockout.
You just go attack. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a loss condition.
Yeah. I mean, it's on board. That's the problem, is that like because Iron Hand doesn't play any like HP boosting things, right? You have 2 things that can hit over 200 damage.
They can take a cool 3 prize turn.
Yes, they can do that, and you can give them a big thumbs up and high five, and maybe an attaboy or 2, but
I don't know. 2's kind of aggressive.
an attaboy or an attaboy and a half.
There you go. That's better.
There you go. All right, thank you. So for this Victini VMAX list for old formats, I'm taking Lee Buies.
Sure.
Anyway.
There's the sad face. There's the sure harder treat. And the knockout.
Womp womp.
Yeah, control. Take 6 prizes. It's a very interestingly played game by the Iron Hands there. Like, we saw the Eerie and they had like 3 research in hand. And they were just draw passing.
So I hate to bring this one up, but when Andrew Zavala and Evie were talking, casting during the regional Doom, they did talk about control decks can take prizes, considering you can control the game and still take prizes.
Yeah, because that's part of the idea, is that like if they only go like it's the exact same philosophy that Zoroark Control took back in the day, where if people played passive, it's like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna like attack you, right? Which is a form of controlling, because if it's like, cool, if I knock out the one threat on the board, I'm controlling your board. I get their argument. It's just dumb.
It's just dumb.
I mean, it is the right. If you knock out an Iron Hands, you get 4 crushing hammerheads.
Right. That's exactly it, right?
Not wrong.
No, it's insanely correct, but it's just like it's silly way. Like, come on. There's a thing about colloquial conversation where one word can mean different things in different contexts, you know? Like, control can mean a lot of different things. Yeah.
Said junk hunt for double puzzle and prayed you didn't get Getsist.
Yeah, they're...
That was the way to play control.
Yeah. Did someone leave? Wait. Oh wait, no, it's the stream. I mean, yeah. You just hope don't get gutsed. I don't know, man. I hate the label that I ever got pinned as a control player because I only ever did it once. Twice, actually. More. I'll take my back out. Never mind. I take that back. Forget everything. Move on. Someone say something funny.
No.
Okay.
Although, to be fair, you're not the Miltic Moore pickup player. Jack Moore is.
I'm so glad he is. I root for that man every single time I see him. I'm so glad that he took it and ran.
It's so wild too that it was top 8. Like it wasn't like, yo, we made day 2 where I got a top 32. It was at the then largest tournament of all time. I just got. It's so funny because it's the only deck. Or wasn't? Yeah, it was the largest tournament at the time, right? Baltimore was. Yeah, it was over 1,000 back when that wasn't a thing.
Yeah. All right. So next round is ready. So we're gonna keep moving.
Oh, neat.
That's a nice thing about running challenge styles. Let more and more people drop off as it goes, and the rounds just go faster and faster.
How many more rounds we got? I'm not paying attention.
3.
All right.
We're at the halfway point.
I can withstand it. So, as a weird transitional bad news thing that happened to Alex this weekend, on Saturday, I get a text from my wife who's getting in the car to pick me up from work, and she said, "Hey, the car's not there."
Oh, 1 second. We're going to move to Savid's because it's Zoroark versus Iron Hand, Future Hands. I want to see how that handles.
Yeah.
Sure, Dragon.
All right, continue on about the car.
Yeah, so she sends me a text. She's like, "The car's not out front," and we found out that someone stole our car on Saturday.
Oh,
yeah,
surprise!
Yeah, kind of a bad feeling. Not gonna lie. Who knew? So I've been making to work, and
people can still steal cars.
Well, have you heard of this Kia Boys trend at all?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. So in October, someone tried to steal our car at 1 o'clock at night because I woke up to the car alarm going off. And it's this pseudo TikTok trend where you can steal Kias and Hyundais with like a USB drive. You can hotwire them.
It's not even hotwire them. You pop off the cover and it just replaces the key, essentially.
Oh my gosh, really?
Stupid design.
That easy?
Yeah.
Well, I know that there's lawsuits in like California and New York because of it. And I know that they're doing a lot of like hot fixes to like Kia vehicles. And like we had assumed they did one to ours because we went and got it like serviced after it all happened. So like someone broke a window, we got the window replaced. And then it was in the afternoon. It was between 2:30 and 4:30 that this happened in a apartment complex next to a busy road. And we know it was like this Kia Boys things because they left a running Kia next to our parking spot. So they hopped out of the previous Kia they stole and hopped into ours. Like, that's how like easy it is that they stole 2 in one day. Long story short, I'm biking to work now. This spring break, right? So I don't have to sub this week, but I am biking to Bellevue from Tukwila.
Gosh.
Yeah. Because it's either bike, which like I'm used to. Yeah, you guys have heard the stories. I'm used to biking that much, like in a day, or riding like 2 hours worth of bus. But anyway, I'm tired, is what I'm trying to say.
Right now, neither player has checked in. So with 2 minutes left, I don't know if they didn't know the new round's up or they walked away thinking they had time. So we might have to jump to like someone else.
Daycamp and Cash are both, well, Cash is 3-0, Daycamp's 2-1 because they lost to Cash.
So if they
those are both good.
If they don't show up, we'll jump to the Cash's game.
Yeah, I know you all hate meta, but Lost Tina is incredibly fun.
But yeah, Alex, same. I own a Hyundai as well, but it's in the weird spot where it has the thing or it doesn't, and it doesn't end up getting stolen a lot because of that. But also, if you've ever seen the back of my car, my son has absolutely destroyed it. So if they stole it and then wrecked it, it probably looked better than what they did before.
If you get some, if you get that insurance money back, right?
Right.
It's an upgrade.
I'm gonna move us to cash. If they sign in, I might move us back, but we'll go to cash.
Okay. All right, so we're watching. Looks like Cash went first.
Just gotta set the thing up real quick.
This is a rough start.
And one player has shown up in the other game, so I don't know if Savid's there yet.
Just oh wait, what a top deck! The opponent just lost on a Mirage Gate. That's like massive.
Yo, okay. Is the hands normal in a team of
No. This is the one I was mentioning earlier where Cash took the 55th place list, one of the fellow Singaporean who had hands and Raikou V.
Got it.
Yeah. So that was a super sick top deck though. The Forest Sealstone to get the Chorus Experiment. So we can actually maybe play the game. You don't have to start Requiem in this matchup, right? Because you're hitting 280 anyway.
I can hear his sound. Okay, I just muted it.
Oh, that's true. No, it's better this way.
That's a cool ambiance.
Oh, Savid showed up at the last moment, so we might be able to jump over there, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. No. Cash is cooking. We got the Jet Energy to get one of the Comfies in the active. We're probably going to end the turn with an Abyss Seeking, but we don't have to. But we definitely get to see some more cards, which is super important. Because we're kind of hoping that the opponent has to Abyss Seeking again, and you can get that tempo early. See, we can also go grab a Ninja if we would like to. I didn't see if the Ninja was in deck or not. It is not. Okay, cool. Well, that feels bad, but we're not the end of the world. Going to grab another Tina. And again, double checking all the stuff we have available to us. Should jet into the Comfy and see some flowers being selected.
Well, I'll say in terms of card design, I think Comfy was actually one of the best card designs.
It's our last psychic, but can't get rid of the Mirage Gate. I agree. I think Comfy, I think the Lost Zone engine as a whole, maybe not the best designed.
Right.
But Comfy as a thing is very fair and very good.
Yes, I think if there was a car, if there was no like Cramorant, if there's no Mirage Gate, if there's no Giratina, if there's none of that and still Comfy, I think people would play it.
What a rough. We threw away a psychic and then we're forced to choose between two of our three, I assume. I'll double check the list. But yeah, we play 3 grass. So we were forced to choose between the two of them as well.
That is rough. Is this mirror just the first one to swing? Is that it? Is that how this mirror works?
No. The mirror's the first one to Roxanne wins.
Okay.
The first one to get Roxanne loses, I guess, would be the other way to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, this mirror is actually super intricate. So the way it should get played out is you got to set up Sableye, Pings, and or Greninjas. Let's see, Cash has Manaphy, but does the opponent have a Manaphy?
You just have to have enough.
Also has a Manaphy. Okay.
So like enough on board to get ready to be Roxanne.
Yes,
okay.
You cannot go into Roxanne turns until your board is stable. Like, not just stabilized. That's not. You have a follow-up attacker ready to go.
Okay, that checks out.
Oh, and there goes a Sableye down too. Hold on, I just have both lists pulled up. That seems way better. That's the only Sableye. Oh no, shot they lost on their only Sableye like that.
That other card has to be insanely good then.
They just bossed. They have no bosses left. They just bossed a different Tina into the active. The difference is one singular energy. What? They have no Sableye. They have Counter Catcher left too. Actually, they have 2 Gust effects left. Just no unconditional Gusts except that Prime Catcher. My goodness, that was. The opponent's not in a good spot. All right, let's see though. Cash does have to top deck, or else we're going to be abyss seeking again. It's not the end of the world, really.
Especially with what your opponent played, right?
Although something really awkward that we're seeing from Cash right now, with no Greninja down, we can't utilize this Mirage Gate because we could Lost Vacuum, our own Seal Stone, get to 7, and then Mirage Gate, but we have no Psychics and no One Grass in the deck. So ideally, you're Greninjaing to put them in the discard to rob them back to Mirage Gate them. But Ninja's busy in the prizes. Okay, we got to 7.
What?
I don't know. You got to ask the Ninja.
All right.
Okay. We're doing something. We get hard retreat here. We just abyss seeking, right? You can put the water on the active, put the grass on the bench, the one with the psychic energy, and then just abyss seeking and say, all right, if you're going to take a knockout, you're going to knock out my one with no resources on it. Cash disagrees and says that's not correct. Guess we're going to... Oh no, this is really aggressive. This is like really, really aggressive. I could be wrong. This just feels really bad.
Like you were saying earlier. Wait, no, Cash is not. You're saying Americans they played aggressive, but.
Well, yeah. We have one psychic energy left. All right, let's see. Okay, we got our Sable half the prizes. That's pretty cool. But like I said, there's only one psychic energy left in the deck. So we can attack next turn. We can boss KO the other Tina. And maybe that's fine, actually. Maybe that's all you need. Maybe being aggressive here is totally fine. You attach, you boss KO the Tina, and then you say, you're not going to do anything. I'm just going to cram you. And be fine.
I like Buddy Buddy Poffin as a card.
It's a good card.
I think it's a cool card. I'm glad it's around.
Me too. With Zard, it always felt so bad. And one of the reasons I didn't play to Vancouver is when you miss the VIPs on turn 1, you're like, well, I'm on the back foot forever.
Mm-hmm.
And now, flow turn 1 is fine.
It's
the response, And we left the energies on the active. And we have nothing. Oh, I don't know what Cash does to this. Slide the Iono on top. Holy. We're so getting punished from Cash's side for the aggressive play. We drew a chorus, so I guess we're less punished now. We need Rod plus Mirage Gate to actually pull this attack off, because again, this is the only psychic energy is now on the discard pile. All right, let's see. We're going to see the top 8 cards of the deck. That's a good one. Chorus looking for not really any of those, honestly. Definitely want to keep that switch card because we're going to want to utilize it this turn. So the Comfies have to find us a Rod and a Mirage Gate. We can't even pull the Sable because again, we need the Rod because that was our only psychic energy. Okay, one of the pieces. We have no V-Star, so we can't take the K. No, we have a V-Star in hand. No. Okay. Cash could be in a fine spot. Currently counting the Raikou damage. We are doing 140, which is not a great number. Looking for a Rod. No. Yeah. So we're probably going to see a pass and kind of hope that they have to Lost Impact this Comfy. If that happens, I think Cash is in a fine spot. And sometimes that does happen, right? Sometimes against Tina, they have to lost impact whatever's in the active. Which is because they don't have their jet or their switch.
Which is a funny thing to say. You should just hit this thing. Sorry, bud.
Pinch the Raikou. If we had the Roxanne in hand, baiting like that anyway. This seems bad. The counter catcher is not live, so they'd have to have a raw prime catcher in hand to go chase.
Any chance that they fleet footing into a rod?
I guess you could, right? You could put the grass and the water here, save the jet energy, put the jet energy, then use the next Mirage Gate on the Tina.
Well, you have to attach the active retreat, right?
I think you attach the jet energy in order to move.
Well, no, because there's no other way to get into. Oh, well, yeah, it's the same difference, right? Because
Well, there's nothing to.
Because you pivot either way, right? Like if you get into the Sableye, you retreat, fleet footing, and then you jet energy the Tina up. But
this is so rough.
That's like a pipe dream to just try to like.
I think this is what we do. I think the Raikou probably shouldn't be on the bench, but you just kind of hope they take this knockout. Hope that between the flower selecting and the top deck, you find the Roxanne. You Roxanne into the Rod and the Mirage Gate. Take the knockout. They dead draw off the Roxanne, and then you can just win the game from there with a prime catcher or boss on the
I don't mind the Tina on the bench purely. Like, yes, you're getting knocked out too, but like the silver lining, I guess is the word, is that you can push it in fleet footing for one extra card.
Yeah, but now you give them the guaranteed prize map, right? Of 2/2.
Yeah.
I guess it's not guaranteed because they're down their boss, so maybe that's actually fine.
That was the optimist's way of thinking about this, I suppose. Is that like it's the one thing if you bench it and you're like, oops, I goofed, and then you're like, oh, but JK was actually a good play. Like that's my mentality here of why Raikou was like a good play. Here's the thing. I will bet good money that he hits the Roxanne off of the flower selecting. It was going to be the second card. Saying it now.
You think so? I don't think so.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to top deck, fleet footing, and then he's going to flower selecting into it. Guaranteed. He's push Raikou.
All right, we're going to see top deck prime catcher here.
What's he going to top deck? He's going to top deck a Poffin. And he's going to fleet footing into an energy. And then he's going to retreat and flower selecting into the Roxanne. Calling it now. Watch this.
There's an above 0 chance it does not matter. Like a prime catcher jet energy knockout on that Tina is pretty good here. That's what I'm assuming the Forest Seal Stone went for. Could have gone for something else. All right, we're still digging. You hate to see the frame 1 flower selecting. That's when you know you're in trouble.
Don Jammer, the three commentators tonight is Alex Cook, Kevin Clemente, and Senior Doom, also known as Zach Roy. And look, I got it right this time, Alex.
That was actually impressive.
Okay. We lost impact to Comfy. Okay. Cash is still in it.
What did I say? I said Buddy Poffin, energy, and then he's flower selecting in the Roxanne.
A Roxanne?
No, what are you doing? Raikou, what are you doing?
Okay. It gives us a lot of outs off this first flower selecting the whiff.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You have to Roxanne this turn or else you get farmed, I think. I mean, honestly, it might not even matter regardless, but... Okay. Cash disagrees. There's the rods and the prime catcher. That's another energy to the lost zone, though. I think Cash is down so many resources.
To the fleet footing.
Well, none of those 5 cards were Roxanne.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those things that like if he had pushed the Raikou, the game would have autocorrected to Rexham.
Oh yeah. Your deck shuffles itself when you make the right play.
Dude, I don't trust live. I'm serious. I think I think it would have.
Sure.
Live just likes to spoon one side. Are you kidding me?
That's because you play too much Maractus.
I did better online than I did with in person.
The deck's like, oh, this is a newbie. We got to help him.
Probably it's probably because I played so much of it at the beginning that my MMR dropped to the basement. That's really what happened.
Okay, because of that loss zone, yeah, Cash is figuring it out. We can't bench the Comfy because it was ideal to like bench Comfy, jet into it, right, and get the mana fee down, but we correctly identify we can't do that.
No. Gosh, this other guy has so many resources.
Oh yeah, no, they have an 8-card hand. They have their Greninja like ready to go. Gosh, yeah, nothing is looking good for Cash here.
I will say the one positive is that if the opponent doesn't get a knockout, he doesn't need much, right? Because he has the Giratina online, whereas opponent actually has the Mirage Gate. So it's like one more card to hit.
That is true.
So like, I don't know, that's a
Okay. There's the Ninja. Yeah, and Cash has the Raikou as a response as well to say, all right, I'm going to hit you. Maybe you don't have enough stuff. We're not going to hit into the Tina? Wait. What did we just... Why? Wait, I'm lost. What? Is this... What are we doing? We're just hoping to hit the Cramorant? We have no Sableye. I'm getting upset. What's happening here? What? The flowers need to be active. Excuse me. I can't talk louder because the baby is asleep. You don't. You counter catcher. Oh, I can't. I quit. I quit this game. This was everything about this.
Go outside and scream real quick.
I'm done. I'm so done.
Do you guys want to donate to the Mellow Magikarp pillow fund for him to specifically use that pillow only to scream in? Go ahead and subscribe to Senior Doom's Twitch channel here. It's a big purple button.
Why did we counter catcher? Why? Why did we counter catcher there? What? I don't get the counter catcher play at all. Or at least counter catcher the Raikou.
Yeah, put bluntly, that was a play. Not a good play. It was a play.
I'm at such a loss for what I just watched. It worked out for Cash though. We are always rooting for Cash. Cash is a friend, homie, friend of the pod, on the pod before, regional champion as well with Giratina. Arceus Giratina, of course, but with Giratina. Chat, don't forget, if you want to also give me a heart attack, feel free to jump into a streaming room in the Discord so we can watch your game.
We have 2 more rounds we need to fill. Heart attack time.
Heat Miser, I promise that he'll get a Squishmallow to scream into.
I have several Squishmallows, but they're all in the baby's room.
Exclamation point, buy Mellow a Pokemon plus to scream into. What is the best Pokemon plus to scream into?
Huh. I don't know. That's a good question.
The scale Mareep. Or
I like that. Just
okay, time to go to PokemonCenter.com. Let's start looking at some plushies here.
I'll say it actually would be kind of cool if they had some sort of like Exploud one that had a voice recorder in it, so you could scream into it and then like play it back for other people. You know what I mean? Like when you squeeze like a Build-A-Bear, you know how like you could make it say stuff.
Yeah. Well, have you seen the new
That sounds
Build-A-Bear?
like nightmare fuel.
Exactly.
Day camp. I'll figure that out later. But there's that new Bidoof Build-A-Bear where you can get the voice in it. So I believe you can record it.
Oh, we're on Pokemon website. What is that thing? Are you on Pokemon's website? You're not on Pokemon's
Yes,
website.
I'm
What
on
is this?
Pokemon's website right now.
These are all
Go back.
Alex.
Wait, hold on. I'm 30 seconds delayed. Sorry, I'm watching the stream.
Which one?
No, these are all Pokemon.
Like
There was-
this,
scroll.
like this life-size Lucario I'm now looking at that you're 30 seconds behind.
No, I don't know.
I was just trying to look up what size large plush you could find. Like this 39.5-inch size feel.
They're kind of cool.
23-inch.
I think Spheal takes the record. I think Spheal takes the record for the best Pokemon to be used as a basketball.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
there's
I
this-
don't know.
If you want to look it up, there's a Marie plush that's 45 inches.
Oh, there you go.
It's like at scale, life size.
We so we used to play this game. My wife and I used to play this game where like it was a drinking game where we would bring up like a random Pokemon generator. Like she would see a picture of it. And then after she had a few drinks, she would have to try to describe that Pokemon and I would have to try to guess it. Right? You following me? Right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
person that doesn't know much about Pokemon, describing Pokemon while inebriated. One of the best ones of all time, and I'll hit it to you guys now, see if you can get it, is all she said was a volleyball with legs.
Shelgon.
Yep.
Let's go.
That was awesome. we took so long to get there. Like we took, I think it was a group of us. We took about 20 minutes to get Shelgon, and that's all she could say. She's like, "No, it's a volleyball with legs. That's the only way to describe it."
She is right. Like that was a great description. I got frame one. Got it.
Oh
yeah.
No. Like after realizing it now, I'm like, that was the perfect way to describe that Pokemon.
I remember the first time I saw
Shelgon would be a good
Shelgon.
Squishmallow.
It would be. First time I saw Shelgon, I'm like, this isn't a Pokemon. It was.
Oh yeah.
I think
It's
it's like
weird
I like
that it evolves
I like
into like a
Salamence.
dragon.
Yeah, I like Salamence. And like I like
Big
learning-
shout out to Pokemon Go. Salamence Community Day was Sunday.
Sure was.
Yeah, I've got.
Bag on
I didn't
Community
open
Day.
the app. I don't think.
Mm.
I'm not
Mm.
consistent at all. It really depends on the weather. And Saturday was not a good weather. Or Sunday was not a good weather day. Neither of them were.
Really? I
I-
was out all day Sunday.
Really? Was it
Yeah.
not cold?
No, I mean no. Maybe it was
That's a
warmer
yes.
in Tukwila.
No, it was
I mean,
definitely.
I wore a sweatshirt. I don't know.
It's too cold.
See,
I
I
think I wore shorts.
I've been wearing shorts like every day I'm not at work, which is like every day that's not Tuesday or Wednesday.
I
Interesting.
haven't worn shorts in a long time.
Are you allowed to wear? How strict is your school's dress code?
Not at all.
A kid. That's the best.
He's still looking for a job, I assume.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But we're also looking in like not Washington right now, so there is
No,
that.
there's quite a few of the male teachers wear shorts every single day.
Oh yeah. I'd love to like our dress code wasn't super strict, but it was also like kind of got a reason for it. Like wink, wink, get a reason. And I was always like, I'll cover for PE every day. Shoot.
I don't know. Have you ever actually covered for PE?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been
terrible?
No, it's not as bad as you think. I've subbed for PE, like in terms of subbing, right? Like I can explain, like that's probably been my experience in the last like couple months. is that PE is really not bad because you kind of do nothing. The stereotype is true of PE teachers; they don't really do a lot, like compared to all these other teachers.
They do different stuff, right? Like their big issue is management because you have to keep 40 something people running around all over the place.
But I think my big difference here, though, like, and as like a teacher sort of thing, like your success criteria for PE is so much lower than any other class.
I mean, true.
Like as long as they are moving, you're winning the game.
Yeah.
And like
That's
it's
fair.
not hard to be like if people are like sitting on the wall, like I don't want to move, you'd be like, hey man, could you at least walk? And most people are like, yeah, sure. And like there you go, right? That's more than like most people do. That's the only reason I say it, is that like that bar from failing to passing is super like those are the two options, right? Like you're walking or you're not, and one of them's failing, one of them's passing. But
Yeah, like which is which.
if they're moving, they get a pass.
And what if they're not moving?
They get a fail.
All right, just to bring
Wait,
this up,
hold on. You've lost me there.
just to bring this up for people. There is a 10-minute extension on one game.
Fail.
10 minutes.
Yeah, and the worst part is the
Sheesh.
control. It's the control deck.
Oh, rip.
Well, I'm typing on a Malamar list if anyone wants to talk about Malamar.
But yeah, you should just delete the whole deck.
It was one of the ones I was like, I don't know if I want to like put this in a gauntlet, but if I don't put it in this specific one, it doesn't actually show up in any deck. And I think it's like significant enough to like warrant it being built.
Wait, what Malamar are we talking about?
Rabbit Shark Malamar.
Still a bad deck. Don't build it.
Okay. Better than Psychic Recharge.
Pump the brakes, kid.
Yeah, Kevin's always had a thing against Psychic Recharge.
Yeah.
2019 Worlds.
Here we go.
I'm working with all the Washington folks, whatever, go on my honeymoon for a month.
A kid.
Come back 2 days before Worlds. All the Wash folks are like, yo, we're playing Morty Malamar. It's like, no, I'm gonna stick with Pikarom. Thank you, right? They all of them. Lee, David, Luke, Josh did not make it past round 4.
See, by then though, that's when Malamar was bad. It was better before the tag teams.
Malamar existed barely before the tag teams, though, right? Wasn't that only like one set, or was that multiple sets?
It was multiple sets. I know because I played it a bunch and I won a bunch of cups with it. Everyone around here was like Buzzwole, 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 and I'm like, okay, cool, Malamar, GG.
Ooh, can I do day camps redeem random fact?
Yes, actually,
Yes.
we need to.
There are 21 special energy cards that provide more than one energy.
Why do you know that?
I was on the podcast last week. It was my trivia question. It was like gauntlet style, like name an energy that's provided more than one energy, and they had to go around in a circle. Last one standing wins.
Did I not listen to last week's podcast? No, that was the one with the Maridon guy.
Yeah, it was with Bodhi or Nathan. Sorry, I was kidding. That was the whole joke. Nathan, yeah.
Are you sure that's what your thing was?
Yeah, it was name a
Did Zavala
special.
cut it out?
No, I don't know. I don't listen to it. I was there. I know what I was said. Yeah, that was my trivia question. Was name like everyone had to name as many energies as they could that provided 2 more energies, and like I screwed up because I thought there was 20, but I forgot about upper energy. So
Amateur.
I know. I was really stoked that Zavala said Neo upper energy, because I was like, I don't know if anyone's gonna get Neo upper energy, but he got that one. Some of the ones they missed magma and aqua energy, and then double magma and double aqua energy, which both essentially do the same thing but have different names.
So the problem was for Malamar, because Cass just said it came out in May. Malamar came out before I started playing. And so to me, I have no sense of when it existed.
So Malamar was like right when I started to get better at the game. Instead of playing like Espeon GX, like that was like my first deck back. I was like,
Espeon was nuts.
Yeah, but I didn't have like the sycamores and stuff. Like I was still trying to build up my collection. I was like, oh, what do I do? And then like Malamar came. I was like, I like this deck. I will play this one. And then it just kind of clicked for me. I had Necrozma, and then like Ultra Necrozma came out. People were like all up on that. And then there was a Mimikyu with a copycat on it that if you just loaded up the psychic energies, you could just come back and single prize their Ultra Necrozmas, which was hilarious. And then Plaza came out, and that was a thing for a while. And then tag teams came out.
All I remember from these decks is people being really salty when they couldn't handle a Lycanroc GX.
Oh yeah. It was unfair dust.
I will say that in terms of like if you compare all of those type of decks, so the E-Electric decks, the Bronzong decks, the Malamar decks, and the Flaffy decks, like against each other, the Malamar decks were the ones that got spoon-fed the most support, but like also did not see the same level of like play and success that E-Electric and Bronzong, not Flaffy, E-Electric and Bronzong.
I would like to say play. They were played a lot.
No, play for sure. But like
success, no, they were not. I mean, they did like win tournaments and stuff, but it wasn't the same.
The thing was, the thing is that like Malamar had so much support, and it constantly changed, and it was constantly viable. Like, and I noticed I said viable, not good. It was constantly.
Mysterious Treasure is just one of the best search cards of all time.
It's insane. I think I brought that up as a trivia question once upon a time of like cards that existed in the top 4 of Worlds decks.
Oh yeah, Treasures, because it won Worlds and got second as a 4 of.
And then every single year it was legal. It was played in the top like 4 decks or something like that. Like
Henry
was like, I don't know.
No, Shintaro played it. Well, Henry might have too. But Shintaro definitely played it.
E-Electric never really had that like level of like we're directly buffing E-Electric. It was always just like here's Zekrom and then here's Mewtwo and then here's Rayquaza. And Bronzong was like, yeah, we gave you some metal Pokemon, but figure it out, dummy. Whereas Malamar was like, yep, it's always going to be good. Sorry, the Mysterious Treasure's just busted.
Oh yeah, and Henry Brand played 3 Mysterious Treasures.
Right? It's wild.
Yeah, and then Shintaro had 4, of course.
So,
yeah.
Anyway,
good card.
Very good card. That effect is always just going to be good. Like I know if Flaffy didn't see as much success with it, but like towards the Twilight era, like it's in Maraudon now. It's like a one of inclusion.
Also, I'd like to say the canceled Limitless page for the World Championships 2020 says Ultra Prism to Darkness Ablaze.
There's a canceled one of it?
There is?
Yeah. I'll send it to you. But that backed up the TPCI never announced whatever someone told you it did. I'll DM it to you.
Or someone heard offhand from like an employee's uncle or something who happens to also work at Nintendo.
It's one of those.
Oh,
people who work there are like, no, we never did anything.
I'll have to find that quote too. Huh, that's interesting. I don't know what I might build both, honestly, like for this article. The thing about it though is that like 2021, quote unquote, like the
it was a good format. That was a fun. Yeah. Okay, not a good format. It was a enjoyable, acceptable format.
It's also more diverse. So Sword and Shield Evolving Skies seems to be more like it's hard because we're only a few years removed, where it's not like fully retro yet in my mind.
No, it's still standard legal. Some of it, not all of it. Evolving Skies, right?
Yeah, Evolving Skies.
Like Rayquaza, yeah.
All right, round 5 is up for everybody. The match finished.
We're watching Day Camp or are we watching Cash?
We'll see who they got. Cash is in the top. He's up against Rubik, who is the pitch of control. Or
that seems like an absolute.
We have Savid with Zoroark against Charizard Pidgeot. That's some of the people who are streaming. Daycam said he was having issues. D Knuckles can also stream usually.
Okay.
He's up against Lost Zone Box. So caster's choice.
And up to you guys.
I guess let's go to Zoroark. Just because I think Savid, yeah.
All right, we'll go with Savid. Go. So I'll get that set up. Right. Double check the pairing name. Feed AI Venture. Which I will do need to watch this matchup closely anyways because of something that happened previously with one of the players. So now we're just waiting for them to start. See if they're both checked in. Somehow AI Venture got a tie. But guys, we're still there. What the?
Egg, Welder Mewtwo, Welder Zard, Zoth, and Luke Metal.
I actually lost you guys for a moment, so whatever you were talking about has been lost to time.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's
Fine. We're still just waiting for the game regardless. As someone in chat is yelling they want more games. Like, well,
we gotta wait for them to still get in. I'm sitting here talking. I'm like, where are you guys? And then all of a sudden I look at my Discord. It's like, it's still connecting. I'm like, why are we still connected?
I had enough of talk. Man, that feels bad.
Oh, never mind. Guy just won. The other player just scooped.
oh, okay. So let's go back to cash.
Let's go back to cash.
I was not expecting a scoop at 3-1, but okay, cool.
He was 2-1-1.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So
They were like, yeah, whatever.
I'm
Two
winning
rounds
that.
of this one and one more.
Yeah.
One
this one more.
Okay, I mean I can do it.
You can do it, man. You can do it. It's still it was moving fast until we had to do a time extension to the one control.
Speaking of, I'm wondering what the controls win condition in this matchup is.
Right. I don't know.
Because Cash does not play the Iron Leaves, which is actually... So actually, you know what? Maybe... Oh, just kidding. There's an Iron Leaves. Never mind. That's bad.
Oh my gosh, I do have an underscore in my name.
Okay.
Although it is at the end, I think, right? End? Question mark? Yeah, mine's at the end.
Well, and controls just kind of hanging out. We should see an instant charge here, I would assume. I don't know what they're debating on currently. And appear to have disconnected.
Let me make sure they haven't on in their thing. Oh, they did. That was turn 1, right?
Yeah. Is that a restart angle?
We do have a procedure for this if that was turn 1.
Rip.
Or even turn 2.
This is Cash's turn 1, clearly. So it would have been their turn 1 as the Zard player.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
We're having them restart, and this is the way we handle it. Is you take a restart. The person who didn't disconnect automatically wins the coin flip now, first or second. during a
Okay,
challenge,
that makes sense.
if it's a non-challenge on tournament nights, we usually say you can restart your hand. But we have more time than that. Like do another restart. Like, hey, my hand sucks. Let's restart. For the challenge, we don't do that as often, just because it's a little. We're intending to run faster, but that's usually how we handle it. So,
All right, so I'm trying to figure out still how Control wins this matchup.
I'd almost wonder if
Because,
the Mawile hope they run them out of switches and then Mawile something up.
Well, they play 3 switches and 4 jets, and there's no way to get the jets out of the deck.
Right.
So that seems bad. We also have the Mimikyu shouldn't do anything. We have the Bouffalant.
The Bouffalant actually might come into play.
Like an okay, because Bouffalant plus Cape survives everything except a lost impact. And you can get rid of the grass or psychic energies, obviously depending on how the game's played out. That actually sucks. So the last game they both had good starts, right?
Right.
Like the control player had the Rotom, which is honestly all you need. And then Cash had a Chorus plus a Comfey. Okay, we get some mulligans from Cash's side, though. That's good.
That's good.
We're going to see 2 more cards.
Yeah.
Okay, that was not a good one.
Not a good one at all. They started Rotom though.
It's really good for them.
Each core.
It's the guaranteed. Oh no!
The other guy says his hand is just as horrible.
I mean, you have Rotom; it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, but it might be just Rotom pass. Okay, got an S ball, but still.
No, yeah, they're in a great spot. They're fine. It doesn't matter. Rotom pass, you're still fine.
Oops, right.
Like, yeah. So we should see a Pidgey here most likely because it's really about setting up that Pidgeot to get the game with. And Cash does play the Lost Vacuum for that cape, but otherwise, caping the Pidgeot is a pretty good play. Sure, throwing the Mawile down. The control player from the game we watched of them, they seem to really like benching their stuff. Like
maybe to their own
little
detriment.
more aggressively than I would have expected. Yes. Okay, we can play the game now. There is no stadium on the control player side.
Right.
So beach court would stick.
We don't want to put beach court down yet. Oh, that hurts. I don't feel like putting beach court down right now helps because it gives them a free retreat for the Rotom.
Yeah, no, it's not correct now, but any stadium we put in play does stick for the whole game. Well, they can vacuum it, I guess.
Okay. I mean, you can even vacuum your own stadium.
Well, true. Yeah, and now Cash is not applying any pressure, so you're fine sitting back here and
take your time to set up.
Yeah. We could just see the Seal Stone for the Pidgeot. And then, because they're not doing anything, I think you're going to want to start setting up those Charmanders. All right, their hand must be nuts. They just Ultra Balled away an Arven to get this Pidgeot. Yep, and let's see, does Control a Buddy Buddy Poffin? They do, so we could see the Buddy Buddy Poffin off this quick search. Get down a couple Manders and just instant charge again. And so as Cash, we're going to see 3 cards off the top of the deck next turn with the Flower selecting in the top deck, really hoping for a Chorus's Experiment to do something with. Because you really want to threaten. You do not want to let them set up a Charizard with nothing in return.
Now, with the Charizard being out there, you obviously do not want to use Force Seal Stone with the Giratina V because you want that possibility to take that Oko with the Star Requiem.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. Oh, the proper prize checking. Oh, interesting. Okay. So we're going to see Fang sniping instead of the aggro attacking with the Charizard.
I mean, I think you're right either way, but this way at least maybe try to get some of the switching cards out of the hand, right? Question mark.
I don't know. That's assuming there is a switching card in the hand, right? Like, all you know is your opponent has done nothing so far.
Right. But, I mean, they could also be having a bunch, but sitting on switching cards because of... I mean, obviously we can see the switching cards, but, like, I don't know. Maybe that's the only reason you could consider Fang Snipe over... never mind.
No, now I like this play. Yeah. So you're still setting up the Charmanders to be aggressive with. And I assume we're going to see a Fang Snipe. If that thing got benched for no reason, I'm at a loss why you would bench lock yourself.
Watch.
Let's see.
Here we go. Bam.
We're going to see Switch double turbo, or we're going to see instant charge. And we're going to see an instant charge. I don't know why that looks right. We're not while it's on the field. You do not have to bench lock yourself, especially when you're playing a control deck who wants to keep a small bench whenever possible. Selecting, okay, that's a good start. Got to get those guys down.
The click on my health, love it. That's habit right there. That's 100% habit.
To be fair, that is a habit I wish I actually had.
That is a guy being like, is this all? Like,
all right, let's see an Abyss Seeking. In a great spot. I think Cash is getting back into control here. Ooh.
Is there an argument for, in that scenario, actually playing the beach court instead of playing the switch card?
I think the problem is, and we're going to see it would have been a big problem, is you're giving the Rotom retreat so they can just go quick search for a double turbo to start Fang sniping you.
Yeah, but like they can also Rare Candy Zard retreat with it.
That's true.
You know,
I guess they want to set up the Zard regardless, but then they only play 4 energies.
That's fine. Like, I don't think you're really leaning on Zard much this matchup anyway. And I think just like burning the switch card to get an Abyss Seeking rather than like playing a beach card that's permanently going to stick, I think might just be better. Like, sure, you're saying to your opponent, like, hey, man, you don't need the Rare Candy Zard. I got you, fam. But like, they're going to hit it anyway, and they're going to do it anyway. And so like, they have to burn an energy, but they're going to get it back. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think the more that I say that out loud, I think playing the beach card and saving the second switch card was correct. Because now if you do get Fang sniped, you're going to cry.
No, you're probably correct. Like an Eerie plus Fang snipe combo here would be oh
yeah, you're done.
It'd be bad. It's one of those things too where I see this a lot happen when you are watching like a tournament or you're watching something like that, and chat's like, oh, how did they know? Giratina is sitting there with a 9-card hand. How do you know it's got good stuff in it? Yeah. You just kind of assume at that point, like there's some good stuff in there.
That's one of those ones where like
we're just gonna start swinging.
Like IRL, you just say, how many cards in hand? Wait, JK, it doesn't matter.
I know you're just like a lot.
Yeah.
My entire deck.
These days, I'll say stuff. They're like, how many cards in your hand? And I'll be like, and I own was worthy amount.
I wonder why we didn't Eerie there.
I'm actually wondering why they Iono.
I mean, there's only one Eerie, so I guess it could be in the prize cards. I don't know why they would Iono. Cash has done nothing so far. I mean, they did just Abyss Seeking, so they have 2 unknown cards out of the top 4 that could have been good. But you did also potentially dig them closer to choruses. All right, Jet's pretty good. We're fine giving up the sacrificial Tina too. I think what Cash is going to want to play for will be obviously the Requiem on the active, but also a Roxanne plus counter catcher or prime catcher on the Pidgeot on the same turn. And then the control deck should kind of just fold to that, honestly.
He's got an easy 6 prizes out there.
Yeah, because the Luxor is also on the bench for some reason. In addition to the Rotom. You can't really penny both. If you penny both, then you're using 2 turns, right? Why did we nest ball is the new question. Because we know the bottom of the deck had no choruses. So I'm wondering why we would do that before flower selecting. Like, what was in that old hand that we're looking for here? All right, let's see. Always punished. All right, this is going to put us at 6 in the lost zone after this Abyss Seeking, correct? 5, 7 in the lost zone after this Abyss Seeking. Okay.
Plus, they take a KO, your counter catcher's active as well, so you could possibly go after something like their Pidgeot EX right away.
Yeah, so I think we're fine keeping this hand and just giving them this Tina on a silver platter. And as Charizard, they're a Charizard deck in this matchup. They're not even a control deck anymore. the Charizard deck is totally fine taking these 2 prizes as well. It's kind of a even exchange, right? So it's Full Metal Alchemist equivalent exchange. All right. And see, okay, now the control deck doesn't even have their Iono left because I got rid of it already. So you see a switch card go into the discard or the lost zone. This is when you want to Iono them. Because you're like, oh, those other cards were pretty good. Yeah, we could just see a Star Requiem in response to this. Like, we're actually, it's again in a pretty okay spot, right? Chorus plus flower selecting gets us to 10. We have the V Star in hand. It's just have to hit some Mirage Gates.
In a vacuum.
That does absolutely nothing. Okay. So yeah, Cash is threatening the Requiem next turn, and then has the counter catcher in hand as well to KO that Pidgeot. Cash is in a really good spot right now, like a really, really good spot. Now they could still whiff, right? You're only going to see 8 cards off the top to look for that Mirage Gate. But that is a heckin' lot of cards. And they did thin a vacuum out for us, which is very nice of them. All right, we're digging.
Now we're finding
All right.
choruses.
And oh my goodness, the last couple cards, you'll love to see it. You got to take the gate.
You've got to
and that leaves the hand is so good, so we can actually activate the effect as well. So yeah, we're counting our energies right now. I don't actually know what's left in the deck and what's prized. Cash should. Throw down.
I'm wondering if he's debating about
Froze,
using I'm debating. No, he hadn't thrown it down yet. He was debating it. I'm wondering if he's debating about either using Star Requiem or the Iron Links for KO here.
I mean, maybe. You would definitely want to start Requiem here, though, if you have the chance, because the Zard's going to be hitting 240, right? And so that Iron Leaf is going to get knocked out, and then you have to reestablish an attacker, versus you currently have just about everything you need ready to go for that next knockout.
That's true.
All right, we could see we got the cart, we got the beach court. I definitely think this is the throw down the beach court angle. Keep that switch card around.
At this point, they have a free retreater in the Pidgeot EX anyways. I don't think it hurts.
We're going to hold it. There's actually something in the list that I don't see. There's no stadium and there's only one lost vacuum. I'm not super sure why we didn't just play the beach court there and keep that switch card around. Like if they eerie it, that's fine.
Yeah. It's almost the Pidgeot. Either they're going to come in and attack with the Zard, or try to bring something up and patch it into the active.
Yeah, and it's way too early to try and Mawile anything right here. Like, I'm trying to think of how they pulled this one out. There's no Defiance Fest in the control list.
Mind you,
yeah, so there's no way for a Radzard to KO.
Mind you, they have about 9 minutes left in this match.
That's still doable.
Still doable. It's just time's ticking down. And I didn't give them an extension, and I don't think I'm going to now.
All right, we're going to hit the quick search. So we're going to see another Candy Zard and swing into it. The counter catcher is not live, but we do have a Chorus to keep digging, plus the Jet Energy to dig further, looking for a Prime Catcher. We could also jet the Comfy first and look for a Boss's Orders.
Did he keep the Boss's Orders? Because he had the Basikium with it earlier.
Ooh. I kept it in my head. So
man, that was my thought. I was like, you keep the Gust. You're going to need your Gust for this game.
All right, wait, the Vacuum Get is good because now we can keep the Pidgeot, and that Pidgeot's not going to go anywhere this whole game. There it is. All right, Pidgeot survives. The boof. Again, I don't know why we're bench locking ourselves.
I know. All
right, so we're going to swing for 240 into this, but I think it's fine. So Cash is looking for a Rod. A Rod into the Iron Leaves KO is pretty darn good.
Well, he's got an Color, so we can see if he can dig for that Rod, which we do not see. But hey, look, there's the boss.
Getting boss is good. Cram does not hurt, right? If you're going to be stressed for resources, keeping the Cram around as a guaranteed 110 damage is incredibly nice.
Does Leaves KO Zard if it has Cape on it? 430. I think it hits 440 against Zard, so yes.
We do not want to play that Mirage Gate. Just drop the Jet. It's fine. There we go.
You can Jet, and then you still even got another possibility to draw with the Radiant Ninja. There's no
energy, so it would have to be with the last Jet, which is
sketch.
I guess debatable because then you're letting Mawile as a win condition. Well, I guess you just take the other Jet and Greninja anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
It's fine because if you get this KO, you only need one boss to win the game, and they're down their Iono already, so they have to Pal Pad plus quick search for it.
Plus, you saw Prime Catcher.
It's doable. Oh no, red. So we can still swing for 280 into this. It's not like bad.
You can swing 280. That sets up a little bit for possibility of the stable eye. You could also add Fate with one more Comfy.
Well, there was only one Rod in the deck. Okay, that's actually not a terrible whiff. That's pretty average.
Right. So like what we could see here is Comfy, Hard Retreat. Hope to hit the Rod. If you hit the Rod, then you can use the Mirage Gate, and then you can bench the Leaves and just go from there. But I think he's going to just take a moment.
That is true. It'd be a 33% chance of hitting it, right? Because the deck would go down to 6, and then that's actually not terrible odds. Although passing turn is really bad if you whiff.
Yeah. So taking the 110 here does fix the math. They would have to use their own Gust to get that onto the Giratina, and you come one turn closer to finding that Rod anyways.
I'm trying to remember, did they play their boss already? Because they played 3 counter catchers, but counter catchers obviously is not live.
Right. Does leaves only do 180? I thought it did 220 for some reason.
All right.
I don't know. I don't play Iron Leaves in any of my decks. So
I think the problem with this cram ramp play is if they go for the boss,
it is 180.
that's just not great here. Yeah. They go down to 2. If you attack with Iron Leaf, gosh, why are they bench locked? That's so bad. I mean, they're fine because they can just Radzard for game. Yeah, okay. This is such a problem. If we attacked with the Tina, then we would have the easy cleanup with either Cram or Sableye to keep a 1 prize board. But now we cannot clean this up with anything except the leaves, which gets knocked out in return. I'm not super sure.
Yeah.
What to do here?
There's the rod. I mean, you could rod. Iono doesn't hurt either.
Oh no, yeah, you have to. Well,
I mean,
yeah, you have to Iono
stuff
here and hope. Well, yeah, but they have to hit the Radzard plus a fire energy because they can't Iono for both, right?
Right. They can't quick search. They have a thick deck though right now too, with a huge hand.
Leaves also doesn't KO everything on the field though. It's like you can't even take your last 2 prizes from there because it doesn't KO the Rotom. Okay, so we're gonna set the Raikou as well. It looks like. All right. Now we're talking.
That's the right move.
Actually, I think we're just gonna see the Raikou take this knockout instead of the leaves.
That might actually be the better move.
I mean, it's got less HP, which is a downside, but it does KO
everything on the field.
Pidgeot. Yeah.
KOs because they bench lock themselves. I mean, it's loading.
Yeah, if that Luxray and Bouffalant weren't on the field, this play would not have been possible. I don't know why those 2 Pokemon are on the field for the Zard player. Okay, we can throw down. Sure.
I feel like you got Gen Energy here over Beach Court. Oh no, I know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What am I saying? They're just going to bring up Pidgeot anyways.
Yeah. There's no reason to hold the Beach Court. We've been holding the Beach Court for too long.
They've got 1
and plus
minute.
You want to save the Jet Energy, otherwise tempting Trap on the Mawile loses you the game.
They've got 1 minute 30 seconds left.
Oh, there's Prime Catcher left actually. All right. See the Fleet-Footed plus the knockout. And we have Prime Catcher for a game.
We'll see what the opponent has. And
do
we'll
we have
go from there.
Radzard and Fire? Yeah.
This is one of those times when I like live, you can work faster with things because this is going to be a good game. They have like a minute left.
All right. Do they have Fire plus Radzard? Or do they have an Eerie to get rid of the Prime Catcher? Or do they have that Iono they pal patted back? Here's a quick search. I'm going to say that means they don't have game, or else they would have done that a little bit faster.
I feel like they might not know how much time they have left.
Most likely not. Or they know exactly how much time they have left and are fine taking a tie here.
They're both 4-0s. So if you look at the current standings, I believe they would still stay up top. I am updating the standings.
Yeah, they would for sure.
Yeah, they would actually still be there. They would
We're
both
going to see the top 4 cards of the deck. The Jet Energy as well. I think Cash is going to be able to dig pretty far. They're going to draw 1 for turn. They're going to Fleet-Footed. They're going to have the jet for the comb fee.
Nope, instant charge. They don't hit enough though.
Yeah, we only do 200, but that's fine.
Fleet-footed.
All right, fleet-footed first.
Catcher doesn't do anything.
Not live. Okay.
Let's keep digging before you call us.
Sealed.
I mean, technically, you can even get further here.
Shuffle the deck. Good. Prime catcher's on the bottom. I think I would have liked to have seen that jet for this exact reason, but because like you could have comb feed into the energy to dig even further, but this is fine, I guess. All right, do we hit the prime catcher? We do. Okay, so it did not matter in the end. Prime catcher, bring up the Pidgeot or the Rotom, it does not matter, and take the knockout. So on that turn, I mean, if Cash jets the Comfey, sees the next two cards, Cash then sees what, 100% of the deck? With an energy off the Comfey. I don't know, that's what my gut says, but it's also nighttime for me, so I could be completely off.
I know. I got a judge call on the other game that went to time. So I'm trying to deal with it.
Okay. Cash goes up to 5-0.
Time finished. I know we did watch it, but time's been over for about 2 minutes now.
Oh, Cash goes to 401.
So they go to 401.
Okay.
Unless Rubik says no, he straight up won. Because I mean, we watched it, but time ran out, and at least for us, we don't. Even if it's on stream, we don't do turns. And again, this is one of those things where if it was the tournament and not the Challenge of Doom, they would have actually had extra time.
That makes sense.
Fellas, I can't do anymore.
That's totally fine, dude. You can. There's one last round.
I know. I biked 34 miles today. I need to go to bed. I'm very, very tired. It's been fun though. I'm glad that this was like the dream team. Or at least two of us were the dream team.
The dream team.
The dream team.
Yeah.
I'm also incredibly sleepy. Let's get this last round going.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap out. Bye, chat. I miss chat more than I miss anybody else. So chat's the best. Chat real MVP. Make sure to smash that subscribe button.
Always true.
Okay, guys, it was fun. Let me know when you need me next time, and I'll be here.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
All right. We're gonna give Cash shit. It sounds like it's very close, but it was within a minute. This is one of those hard things where both players probably didn't realize time, and it's one of those hard online things. So I'm gonna give it. We all watched Cash win. So, any objections, Kevin?
Nope.
Let's see this other one. I'm just going to end this other one in a tie. This other one, like they're fighting over who's lying, who's not.
That sounds good to me.
So,
if both sides are saying different things, there's not anything else you can do.
Exactly. So I'm just going to call that, get this going because I want to get this done, and I think we all want to get this tournament done. So round 6 is up.
All right, let's see. What options do we have to watch?
We do have Cash to finish out. There is no reason ID here because you do have it's day camp would be great. Get it. Rubik's we've already had on. I can see if we can get Ayako Jin with the Sandy Shocks.
Sure. They're just playing against Cash.
Oh, they are? Oh, that makes it even easier.
Yeah.
That means we don't have to change.
That sounds good to me. We'll stay here.
We'll just stay here
So
and
let
make it
me
easy.
check. Okay, this list is interesting. So we have 2 King Loos in here. We have the 2 Sandy Shocks EX. We have 2 Raging Bolt EX, which everyone knows, and I'm not just reading for myself, is 70 damage for each energy you discard from your Pokemon in any way you would like. Got it. Huh, I wonder what the King Loos are doing.
They're doing their best.
Or King Loo. Have to exist.
I 100% think they're probably in there just to hopefully stop like Lost Zone or something to make that matchup just a little bit better. I would think.
That makes sense. Go for the Halucha, ping some Comfies, and then hope to break them.
Exactly. Savid, also seeing like if we had Savid and his deck is against Goldingo, who's 4-1, surprisingly. But I want to see the Static Shock. Yeah. It's Ike Lowlett is playing it, and Ike has been playing a Ditto version of it since before rotation, and it's been insane. Like he's had insanely good luck with it.
All right, so just looking at the initial, right? Cash Oko's everything, which is a good sign. The Tinglu and the Raging Bolt are both very large lads at 240 HP. But fun fact, 240 is less than 280.
The Tinglu, though, is going to cause issues of just trying to get your Confies to come up and do their thing. No way, it's only EXs, right?
No, except Pokemon EX, but they have to have damage counters on them.
That's right.
And that's the hard part. Where are these Comfies getting these damage counters from? All right, this hand is disgusting going second, acceptable going first. So we'll see. But we do have the Ancient Booster Capsule, actually. So the 2 Ancient Booster Capsule means they do survive. Yeah, the Raging Bolt survives. The Lost Impact. Yeah, so we're in a great spot. We have the Concealed Cards target. We have the Chorus. We have the Nest Ball. We have Jet Energy.
They're bringing out who knows what. I would assume the Raging Bolt to start. Ooh, the Arcanine.
Arcanine V. Cash reading it as you'd expect. Okay, the Forest Seal Stone, that makes sense. This is a situation where a battle VIP pass here would be really good, but
it don't exist anymore.
Searches for 2 ancient Pokemon, yeah. Oh, the Squawking Seas, of course. I completely forgot that card existed. All right, fresh new hand. There we go.
What happened to the screen for a moment?
So there is only 2 lightning energies in this deck, and that's one of them town. There is a super odd, but that's a pretty big deal. Although, no, never mind. Sada. Sada exists. They're fine.
Yes. They do have Sada on this list, right?
Yeah. All right. The town store, the attach. Ooh, we're going to see the Koraidon power itself up. That's actually a really good attack into Abyss Seeking, right?
Right.
So this kind of telegraphs for Cash, like, okay, we are not Abyss Seeking this turn. Well, I could go to the Tinglu. All right, we'll see where the energy goes. If it goes to the Koraidon, you're definitely gonna leave a Comfy in the active at the end of the turn.
Ooh, the Baton. Does the Baton goes on the Tinglu, but the Tinglu is not that good of a attacker outside of the damage counters.
If it has to be in the active to shut stuff off, you do need to attack with it then. All right, proper sequencing. We're going to conceal some cards. I guess prize check first. The Forest Seal Stone. Let's go. Tech for the town store matchup.
Looking at the health. Okay, I can KO this and KO this. I can KO this. He's got easy pricing there.
Oh yeah.
Iron Hands Raikou and Iron Leaves probably. Well, okay, Iron Leaves might actually see play. It's the Ting. The Tinglu is.
Yeah, it should be the Arcanine, Tinglu, and Koraidon Psychic Week.
Koraidon Psychic Week. And then even then, you still also KO the Mew EX with Iron Leaves as well with the 180.
That's true, and the Squawk.
So you have plenty of outs, plenty of options here to KO.
Let's go. All right, we got the Buddy Poffin. We're gonna go grab some Comfeys. This is damage counters. So Manaphy does nothing. I don't know if that's what Cash is reading for, but if anyone was wondering. All right, this is pretty good. You're pretty fine throwing that Iono down. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see the Buddy Poffin first, because like you're always going to get 2 Comfeys off of it, and I don't see where you'd want a 3rd Comfey from. So I think that should have been sequenced a little differently. Or we're going to see an Abyss Seeking here.
He did put the energies onto the Tinglu and not Rhydon. So I mean, you could possibly hit here easily and do an Abyss Seeking and not have to work. You're going to take some damage, but that's about it. You have plenty of Chorus in hand, and then next turn you needed to, I'm assuming you could possibly even use the Comfeys then.
All right, and we're going to do it. We're going to get up to 4 in the Lost Zone by using Abyss Seeking on this Giratina V.
Yeah, because then...
Yes.
Actually, I can kind of see it because you have... Oh.
Yeah, the double Mirage Gate is rough.
The gates.
Cash is better than us and did prize check for the Giratina V stars.
So wait, I see it this next turn then. You can get the Chorus. Possibly even Jet Energy it up after you Chorus experiments. That gets you to 7. You can always Iron Leaves here. Mirage Gate, then Iron Leaves as a possibility. That then it just gets straight up KO'd by the Koraidon though.
And of course, off the restart for 2, they had to hit an energy or a supporter into an energy, or else they're not doing anything anyway. And that's obviously what Cash wants, right? Giratina wants all the time in the world.
Oh, exactly.
9369. So we're going to do 180 with the Hisuian Arcanine.
Hello there.
Hello
Okay,
there.
that's where we're going.
Everyone coming in from Hiker Ant's channel. I am Senior Doom, professional illustrator, tournament organizer, and very, very tall guy. Joining me tonight is Mellow_Magikarp, also aka Kevin Clemente, host of the Lake of Rage podcast, also a very tall guy. We are actually 2 very tall guys, and you can see us tower over everybody at any regional.
I'd really like to see the switch cart kept here as a way to clean off any Comfeys from the Tinglu. I don't think the waters are going to do you a whole lot. I can't imagine a prize map where you're going to be using the Moonlight Shuriken here. Yeah, I think we gotta let's get those Comfeys out. There we go.
Got it.
There's not a whole lot that I think your opponent's going to do next turn.
No.
If you take this knockout, right? Like they can technically knock you out, but they have 2 lightning energies in the discard pile, so they have to optic a Raging Bolt and a Sada off of a Mew restart. It would be bad for you, but it's just so incredibly unlikely. All right, we're loading them up. Arcanine's Psychic Week, yeah.
Yeah. Arcanine's Psychic Week. The biggest issue you run into here is you will activate Sandy Shocks, and they will be able to grab fighting energy from the discard. But by getting rid of this Arcanine, they can't move it around freely.
Ooh, we got our other V-Star as well. Let's go.
I don't think anything Okos you outside of that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely just the Raging Bolt. So that's really the only thing you're afraid of is they have to Sada to a Raging Bolt, and they have neither a Sada or a Raging Bolt. Well, they could have a Sada. Okay, we don't know that. They could have held the Sada last turn, but yeah, they did nothing last turn.
And again,
so I'm going to lean towards they don't have that knockout.
And again, hi Grant, thank you for the raid. We're currently in the final round of the Challenge of Doom. So we're watching a 5-0 go up against a 4-1. So I mean, the winner of this is gonna have a good chance of winning it all. Oh,
there's a Halucha. That is a disgustingly bad bench. So we are
we are in a very bad place, I guess.
Yeah, this Giratina might take all 6 prizes.
Okay, this does hurt. This does hurt because now he has to find something like the Prime Catcher.
That's one reason. No, we have Jet Energy. We're fine. But that is one reason not to evolve it because you only play switch cards. Yeah, we just
Jet Energy.
Get the Tina into the active.
I'm trying to think. Does the Heavy Baton not activate because of the Star Requiem?
The Star Requiem? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, this game feels like it's quickly getting out of hand.
Yeah, that's why we definitely Star Requiem this guy, right? Because then they will have 1 energy on the field. Yeah. They literally cannot OQ. They need 4 energies to hit 280, which would be fighting. They have to Sada 2 and then Sandy Shocks 1. And then they can attach from hand, right? Yeah, it is mathematically possible that they could get the knockout. But judging from the way they've been playing, they don't have it. So I just start loading up the other Tina. Be like, all right, I'm going to threaten the return knockout.
No. Star Requiem.
Okay. So we keep the other Tina. No. Okay, I see it.
Okay.
We're keeping the other Tina to guarantee Star Requiem anything. That's probably fine, right?
Right. And even then,
like the worst case.
You still have Jet Energy also. So, I mean, you can also Jet Energy up. Just straight.
Oh, what are we going to start? Wait, what? Why are we start alchemying? What are we doing? Are we going to get the lost vacuum? No, what? Oh, we're going to shut off the heavy baton. What a good joke.
Good joke. You had it figured out anyways.
All right, let's go.
I'm like, okay, do it this way. And he's like, nah. I got it.
This way is pretty darn. This is pretty acceptable. What do you lose to with this? They take the KO on the active plus an Iono. Is like technically losable, but they can't even. No, they can't kill the active and Iono in the same turn. Oh my gosh, this is not encouraging me that Raging Bolt is a real deck. I'm gonna be honest.
100%.
This is.
It's every time we've had like Raging Bolt on, it hasn't done.
All right, let's go. Sandy Shocks uses ability for the first time. Good for you.
Yeah,
all right, they're thinking.
Looking at looking at the standings, Cash wins. It'll be a clean victory.
Yeah, there's no other 6-0s.
Yeah, there'll be no other 6-0s.
All right, we should retreat to Halucha.
Is court worth it in normal Tina lists? It seems to be working for this.
All right. This is not a matchup I would consider when I'm deciding whether to play a card, though.
No, I wouldn't.
Gosh, we have so many options to see the rest of our deck here. I definitely think, yeah, let's double check. How many bosses do we have left?
2 bosses.
2 bosses plus the Prime Catcher.
You could switch card into one coffee, switch card into another coffee. Before
I definitely think we don't want to. Chorus yet.
He's going.
Yeah, we're gonna do it anyway.
For the prime catcher. There's both bosses.
Look,
Look at, we
boss.
would have found it.
Yeah, I definitely think it is because you can't attack anyway. Like, you have to get this thing out of the active.
Exactly. Well, now you can conceal the cards, the lightning energy.
All right, we could still bottom deck it, right? Go jet into the active, selecting. We should hit it still.
I mean, it's 4. We can see 4 cards this turn.
All right. And then switch card. We also get the heal off. Love to see it. Oh, wait, no, we don't. It's just harder tree. What am I saying?
We'll probably switch card. We don't even need a switch card. We just need a prime catcher.
And catcher.
Counter catcher.
All right.
It's in there. Next 2 cards.
See, like, we had all these resources already. We could have just gone the flower selecting. We could have seen the top 6 cards of our deck before that chorus.
I know. I was like, man. And then we saw the chorus. There was a good chance you were just hitting it. Oh, I don't even like that. Just pass. Don't even attack this turn. Okay, you know, it doesn't matter. You still boss retreat this next turn, but
I think the problem is, if I remember correctly, the Raging Bolt has both lightning energies because they only play 2 in the discard pile, so they have to Sada. And if they Sada, you win the game. All right, let's see. This would get a lightning energy if they have them. And there's not Iona.
they've had nothing in hand all game.
Actually, yeah, do they even have a switching card in this deck?
Oh, why not? Hey,
Sada, let's go. All right, Sada into Prime Catcher. Prime Catcher KO the Tina. You can get there. We can get there. You can do it. I believe in you.
You can do it. Sorry, I watched
I don't think we're gonna get.
No, I watched Waterboy like 2 or 3 days ago. It's like been on my mind.
All right, we ain't getting there.
Oh no.
Well, they can still take a prize card, and you know that's more than 0.
Sometimes it's the small victories.
It is. It's not like going 4-2 is bad. It's a very unfortunate round to have bricked so hard. Let's go blow this thing up, please. Every single damage counter. Do it.
Do it.
Even though it's incorrect, because technically they can whiff. I hate to see it.
Thumbs up. He knows. He knows. Boss's orders KO coming up here on the Sandy Shocks.
And Prime Catcher top deck. Would have been so perfect. All right. Boss, bring up the guy, KO the guy, and we have our winner of the Tournament of Doom, Cash.
Challenge of Doom. There is a difference.
The Challenge of Doom, only 15 championship points going to Cash.
I don't even think
instead of the 50 plus the playmat.
I don't even think I give Doom points for the challenges right now, which they have no absolute anyways.
Or Cash.
How many matches are left? We got like 3 matches left, but with that though, we do know Cash is 100% our winner. Daycamp right now is currently slated to keep in second. Rubik looks pretty solid third. Savid a solid fourth. Yeah, well, Savi could go down to MVP Prodigy or Shobu, but I think our standings are pretty well set here.
It sure seems like it. At the very least, the top 3 is like definitely set. Like those opponent win percentages are really high.
Exactly. So with that, we're going to call it a night from here. It's late for us. I mean, it's Tuesday night. We went through all these matches. Mello, do you want to do a little self-promotion before we go?
Yeah, listen to Lake of Rage podcast at Lake of Rage Pod on Twitter, Mellow Magikarp on YouTube. Be sure to listen to it. Shout out to Cash. Go follow Cash on Twitter.
Yes.
I don't know what his handle is actually.
I think it's just at Cashman. I want to say that's what it is, but I'm absolutely horrible with remembering people's Twitter names.
That's fine.
So with that,
Dude, thanks for having me.
a pleasure having you on. I've been trying to have you on back for so long, and finally we were able to.
Heck yeah.
So I'm gonna send. Why did it just not work? Everyone off to Laser Lamone. He's an old friend of the channel. He's starting to stream again, so I will send you guys off to there, and we'll hopefully see you on Friday for the next Tournament of Doom.